explorations into the Doom Vault. Making your way, surviving an encounter with several of the Thayan warriors and apprentices, including what appeared to be an undead wight. You all succeeded in defeating them, though not without one of them triggering a trap that he obviously intended to do far more damage to you all, a final victory in his eyes, but petered out without doing much more than serving to consume him alive in his weakened state, as well as one of the others whom had been thoroughly beaten, bludgeoned, and bitten by Garlo. After the battle was done, you all did some scrounging, found two more of the glyph keys that you can use at your discretion, and uncovered some more zones that you all can travel to, namely the hatchery. Uh, but at this point, as you circled back around, you found that there was a black gate in this room and decided to investigate another place, one of the apparently far more hidden zones in the Doom Vault, known as the Temples of Anguish. Specifically, this one was the Temple of. Oh, I'm
I
going to be
think
super annoyed if I give you guys the wrong area again. 1 second.
The temples of
So,
extraction.
that sounds right.
the Temples of Extraction absolutely does sound right. That's why I'm flipping through the
That's
book right
in my
now,
notes.
trying
So,
to.
but I had it the other way. I had extraction was the gate and anguish was the zone. But I'm gonna just had it backwards.
Basically attuned to the zone and to the Temples of Anguish in the Temples of Extraction sector. So
Okay.
sectors are the big ones, zones are the small ones. Makes sense. But as I was looking through this, I realized that's not where you guys came out at. You guys did not come out in the Temples of Extraction. You guys came out somewhere else. And I was wondering if that is that a mistake on my part, or is that just because the Temples of Anguish, this is the Black Gate? And I'm second guessing myself whether or not I've made a mistake or not. Give me 1 second. I did not. I don't think. Hold on. No, I didn't make a mistake. I was correct. You're just we're not helping, by the way. You guys think it's funny, but you realize it's actually just slowing me down and making it harder on me. All right, so you arrived at the Temples of Anguish and the Temples of Extraction, slaying a necromancer in some form of animated armor possessed with an ethereal spirit without too much difficulty. And as you investigated the rest of the room, you saw that there was a Yuan Ti, a snake creature slash humanoid, whom was evidently imprisoned on this large stone dais surrounded by pillars reaching up and curving around. As you spoke about what to do next, it just kind of watched you, tongue slithering out almost unintentionally, as if it was tasting the air as your conversation moved on, listening to what you were saying.
I do believe last time I rolled a check about. Also, we're not on the map yet. But I rolled a check about seeing if I knew what Yanti were. Yeah, the nature check. Um, how much like, and I know that they're evil, but do I know anything else about them, like their culture, like what where they're from, what they do, anything like that?
Yuan-Ti are evil humanoids that worship their own dark gods. They are slavers. They are monstrous in nature. They have innate magics, most of them being able to shift back and forth from form into snakes and back. They are almost universally completely immune to forms of poison, but culturally, they're kind of distinct from humanoid races. It's like trying to understand the culture of a goblin,
Okay,
but far more distinct and intelligent.
right. Okay. I don't think freeing this thing is gonna do us any favors or anyone else.
Plus, we're kind of banged up a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like it would attack us too.
Unless it has something we need, I don't see any reason to do that either.
Does is there anything on it? Like, does it have equipment?
It is wearing clothes, but does not appear to have any actual equipment on it. I believe. Need to double check that. No, it does not have any equipment on it.
Does it seem like the may have been controlling a spell that was keeping it imprisoned or doing any type of, research or investigating on the creature?
I mean, to me, it looked like the other room with the glyph prisons. It's the magical device more than the conjurer in the room. That was my understanding from the last one, anyway.
That's keeping it there, but what's the being tested on?
Well, the term extraction would imply that this is how creatures are being brought in to here. Anguish probably only has one other meaning, so it probably has a rough couple of 1,000 years ahead of it. And if we can get everyone out of here that was imprisoned later on, that makes sense, but not until we've completed our job, because it's only going to make our greater goal much more difficult.
I agree. By the way, like, we're not on the map yet. I can't.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You guys are talking. You guys haven't said you're going anywhere yet, so there's no need to drag you over.
Okay.
I remember there was a door there I was going to plan to listen to, but that was it.
Okay.
Check for traps, listen, and then go from there.
Checks of multiple natures.
Yep. It's still investigation and perception?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Not nice.
Listening in to this next zone, you do not hear anything, and you do not seem to find any traps on the door.
I kind of look back to the group and kind of nod, give the thumbs up that we can blink show on through if need be.
Maybe this time we can refrain from the loud counting.
Sorry, I actually wasn't sure what was on the map there, so I wanted to move the token just to see what I was seeing there.
Oh, he escaped.
Did anyone check the necromancer for?
Did we? I thought we found a glyph key on him.
You
Might
did
be
have a
remembered.
key on him. Well, actually, that I'm not sure if you checked him or not.
I'll go check him now.
Yeah, check them now, just make sure you'd be safe.
Someone should also check the construct thing.
I will check the construct since we're discussing that.
The construct doesn't have anything on it, though it does appear to be constructed of plate mail and brandishing a longsword. The necromancer does not have anything on him
Not even a glyph key.
other than the glyph key.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Can I want to size up the Is
Want
he
to?
about as big as me? Is he taller than me? I'm just kind of.
Sizing up who? You want to?
It is. Yes, exactly.
Make an insight check. He's fairly large, just over 6 foot tall, well built and muscular, but he is not extremely well built. He is not, monstrous in his form. And it's also difficult to make out because, as you see, portions of him are actually snake-like, which does not lend itself well to humanoid shape.
Right. How long is he as a snake?
You don't know. He's not a snake.
Well, like I think he means like how long is it from the tip of his tail or into
He's
the
a
top of his head?
humanoid with a snake head.
Okay.
Okay. So he's a humanoid with a snake head. Normal clothes.
He doesn't appear to have any scars or wounds on him, but even as you sit here and watch him, like his eyes do kind of dip around watching each of you, but the rest of him does not move. He doesn't even appear to be able to move himself around inside this area, almost like he's bound in place.
He must be dangerous. I mean, I have no doubt he's dangerous, but they must have added extra security.
Or imprisoned. Like there are magical effects that can do that. I'm sure that.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Hello.
we haven't even left the room yet.
Well then. I hope it's not because we're dead.
Yeah, we died actually.
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised.
Okay.
Blinkshot went out for beers, and when he came back,
Oh god, I wish it were beers. It was just screaming child in ears.
Aw.
No, she wasn't too bad. She just doesn't want to go to bed, so she screams, 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 and then you put her in bed. She's like, "All right, cool."
You win. Yeah, thus far we just ascertained that the door is not trapped, there's nothing behind it, and we don't know what to do with the snake man, and there's nothing on the there's a glyph key on the necromancer, nothing on the construct we killed. And we talked about leaving the Yuan-ti where it is, because we know they're evil creatures and we can't trust them not to rat us out. And that's where you came in.
Cool.
We're
Has
also
Phil
all
Dennis-
kind of banged up a bit.
Yeah. Phil Dennis taking a look at the not the glyph key, the glyphs on the floor to make sure that it actually seems to be holding the auntie and he's not just fucking with us.
No, but I don't think he's fucking with us. But I'll look anyway.
make an Arcana check. Looking over the stone dais and the inscriptions that are written along it, you find that there are many marks in it that seem to suggest binding, subjugation, things to keep a creature from breaking free and escaping. Unlike the marks you've seen in the demon pits, this does not appear to be geared towards any specific creature. But with your exceptional roll, you do notice the purpose of whatever this large stone dais is. The runes in it almost seem to suggest that it is trying to suck and drain the power out of the creature. And as you look through what kind of power there seems to be geared for, you notice that it's trying to drain the literal God-given power that this creature has been given. And that's when you realize this creature is a chosen of the gods, or at least the god that it worships. It has been given special boons by someone or something, and that this pin is trying to suck it out.
Ooh, crap. I
Holy
share that with everyone.
SpaghettiOs. I share that everyone.
Knowing what I know about Yuan-tis and their the gods that they worship, that's probably not any reason to let him out. So,
Phil Dennis, if it's trying to suck it out of that Yuan-ti, is it trying to give it to someone else?
yeah, where's the power going? Can you tell me?
I would imagine so, or they'll hold it, store it somewhere for something else.
That
It matters.
particular aspect of it is something that escapes you even with your role. It could be being stored, it could just be being sucked off somewhere else. It could be being suffused with the very Doom Vault itself. That one's hard to say.
I get the feeling if we leave this here, something further on is going to be way tougher.
Or
Do you
alerted.
mean, do you mean if we leave it here, then something further on will have its power?
Yep.
I don't know if killing it will help that if it's already been drained of most of its power.
I mean, it's also defenseless. We probably shouldn't kill it. It's either let it go and move on, or leave it here and come back and let it go later. And given what Blinkshaw said, I think that if we agree that's how it's going to be, then we get to play the game of what's worse.
All right.
It's your guys' call. I'm just making an observation.
I'm gonna walk up to the top of the room and start whispering because it can understand us. I just
Yeah, we already
realized
said so much, so that's why I'm like, we just keep talking, but okay. I was hoping I could get it to react earlier, but I don't know if it can speak right now because it's immobilized.
When we
is there
put
one
the...
of those?
Never mind.
Is there one of those contact stones in this room?
Not in this room.
But there was in the previous room, if I remember. Does anybody remember?
I don't think there was a contact stone in there. I think there was a contact stone in the closet that Bliss got locked in. Right? Or no, that was in the White Gate.
I thought there was one that we saw recently as well.
Yeah, I know there was one we saw recently. I don't remember where it was.
Fildinus, Balin.
Maybe it was in the last room.
I have no recollection of a context
Yeah.
stone, but we talked about it, but I don't think it was in that room. I think we were talking about going back to it.
The only I can think of is the closet one you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, but I think that was just another White Gate. Although I'm not sure. I don't remember well.
Who would you contact in this point? Like, you think Serana knows, or she would have told us?
I don't know if she would have told us.
What are we trying to find out?
If they know anything about what happens with his power.
Ask your gods.
That's a good idea.
Helm doesn't know everything, though. I mean, can he see everything that's happening in this Doom Vault?
Nope. But we can certainly ask him if he knows where this power is going, or like what this type of if this rune would drain to something, or just be draining the power away from the creature in general. Why don't we go? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Would that cost any of your power right now?
Nope. It's
No?
just we should only do it once a day.
Okay.
Otherwise, answers get fuzzy.
Shall I put the HUD up? Maybe we can do a rest while you do that.
We had a long rest not too long ago, didn't we?
And a shorter one.
Do we want to go back to where we were just now, so that we're not doing it in this room?
Okay. How long has it been since we had a long rest, like?
2 hours.
Yeah, it's not very long.
You all rested after dealing with Tarl Var, and then it was pushing forward, looking for the other way to go. So before you all went into the Swine Run and then into the Vermin Halls, that was when you all had your long rest. You had a short rest after that, but you haven't gone very far.
Why don't we go back to the hatchery? That's if I remember correctly, based on my notes, is the hatchery the room with the
You have not been to the hatchery yet. The hatchery is the new one you got.
oh, that's not the one with the throne in it.
So that's the vermin halls, I believe.
Okay, I had that as the large spider room, the one with the columns of spiders.
The room that you all came from, the one that you all literally just left before you came here, was the because you're well. Actually, I guess this area is all one big area. So
Here's
this is a part of the vermin halls.
okay. Okay, I just had that as the spider room only. Everybody up for going back to the vermin halls,
All right.
and I can talk to my god there, and we can do it in peace, hopefully.
Okay.
Works for me.
We could use a short rest.
Yeah, we could.
Okay. So you all are going to one by one make your way towards the top and just slip back through the gate. Basically heading back where you came, which is simple enough, and I'll just move you back over. Because there's nothing to inhibit you. Make an Arcana check as you go through this gate, Leo. As you continue to go through this, you are not noticing anything becoming wrong with the gate keys, but each time you've gone through this black gate, you have noticed some form of not destabilization, but small fluctuations in power as you go through it. And you start to get the impression that if you wanted to, you could, in theory, disable one of these black gates just by putting a glyph key into it and trying to focus on preventing it from being operable. What that would accomplish, you're not sure, other than, well, no one else would be able to use it, though neither would you all.
Yeah, we don't want people following us.
We also want to be able to get out, though.
That would be good.
Also, I want to point out that was almost the worst check that he could have rolled, and he
I
still
know.
Right?
knew. Like, if he had gotten one lower, he would have been like, oh, no, well, not paying no attention. But 15's all you really need. Expertise is silly.
I'm going to cast. So what questions do we want to ask?
How many questions do we get?
3, and they're generally yes or no questions. So the
Are-
first question
So I was gonna say, are the imprisoned creatures of the, or are any of the imprisoned creatures of the Dumalt feeding greater evil power?
greater evil creature,
Oh yeah, good point.
and then if the answer is no, if Helm can even know, then we
Maybe
can ask about feeding the Doom Bulb.
maybe replace creature with like entity.
Oh, good call. Good call. All right. What other 2 questions?
Are we
Will
being
we-
misled?
Yeah. Or I was thinking, is the phylactery in the whatever the sector is, Temple of Extraction?
Okay. And sorry, Wilderness, what was yours?
I don't know. I was just curious if we're all like on a wild goose chase right now. But like if we were lied to originally about where to go. But
That's a good point.
I'm not entirely sure.
Or if they've told us everything they know that will help us.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a no. But
Well, everything they know is a definite no. Everything they know that will help us, that's the one. Like, they haven't told us that. I'm sure they're evil and are going to try and take us over or kill us. But what do you
Actually, they
think?
were pretty upfront about that, but it was later.
Arena? Garlo?
I was thinking maybe we could ask something that helps us get to the phylactery chamber or find it, but I don't know what.
I mean, that's what I said. Is it in the Temple of Extraction? At least then
Right.
we can check off the whole sector.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Okay, so we've got those two. Is Garlo here?
I'm here.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm a little.
Oh, so the spell I'm about to cast lets me ask my god Helm 3 different yes or no questions. There's no guarantee that there's going to be an answer because Helm might not know the answer. In which case, I just kind of get a.
It is actually the voice that Tim Allen made in Tool Time.
I don't
Because
think so,
if
Blincho.
there's any dad response you can get, it's that response.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Though that's oh my god, Helm is the god of dads, god of dad jokes.
That's may just be association with Chris because that's how we basically know Chris.
Yep. Yep. No,
He is the dad of the group.
I love it. I'm gonna start coming up with really bad Helm jokes. Let's see. Not thinking of Helm jokes. Just third question. Is everybody able to hear the questions that I ask?
Your party can, but you're the only one who gets the answer.
Yeah. No. I know. I'm gonna ask if Garlo is evil.
I mean, you can still ask it.
I can, but I don't want to ask it while I'm praying with my eyes closed to Helm.
I would probably ask something different.
You could ask
Save that one
if,
for later.
Fair question, though.
I mean, I would worry about that. Honestly, you know what?
You can ask if Garlo's condition is curable.
Just ask it in
Oh.
Dwarven.
I like it. Is Garlo's condition curable?
Ask in
That'll be my
Dwarven, that's a good one, actually.
That is a good one. I'm gonna ask all of these questions in Dwarven this round. Just
Okay.
because Garlo has never seen me do this spell. But the first question that I'm going to ask is: are those Dias? Is that Dias and any others like it drawing power and providing it to another entity?
Yes.
Crap! That scared the crap out of me. And now I forgot my second question. Oh yeah. Are the phylacteries in the temples of extraction?
No.
And is Garlo's condition curable? Is Garlo's eating people condition curable? To be specific.
Blacking out thing, yeah.
That question is not a yes or no answer. As Helm will tell you, his condition is more than even he realizes.
Okay.
Mm.
Very cool. I will tell everybody that the dice are drawing power from that creature to another entity, and that the phylacteries are not in the temples of extraction, but we might have to go through the temples of extraction to get there.
True, it just limits how much investigating we have to do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I say that as if those were the 3 questions I asked.
So that means we should
Oh.
probably just kill that
That's
Yanti.
information. Yeah, that means
Are
we
these-
So that it doesn't draw any more power from it.
Right.
And I guess we have to pay a lot more attention to the imprisoned things from now on.
I asked, did that circle seem similar to the other circles that we saw with the demons filled in us, or was that like completely?
I feel like it was completely different. The other ones were just for containment. I think they were for holding to
Oh,
for that very first
Extraction.
chamber. Yeah.
they're extracting the power. That's what extraction means. That's why the temples of extraction are called that.
Oh,
Ding, ding.
Arena with the absolute bombshell. So we do need to try and explore the whole thing.
Do you think we
Oh.
can disable the part that extracts the power without having to free the creature?
Well, that would have been a good question.
uh,
I
mm.
mean, Phil Dennis would know.
We can kind of play it two ways. We can just kill it, and hopefully that solves our problem. Or
Make a
Arena
religion
could
check,
possibly
playing Shaw. As
Uh,
we're having this conversation. Yeah.
persuade the creatures to join us because they're like against our gods or something.
Advantage, sorry.
Something about he said kind of makes you think of something, but as you sit there and think about it, it just kind of falls out of your head. And you're like, oh no, I may just be being paranoid.
Something Helm said.
No, not something Helm said. It's just what he said kind of made you consider something, but you shrug it off just like a paranoid feeling.
All right.
But those are my thoughts on that one.
Okay. Well, I doubt we can persuade it to come with us or help us, but I might be able to get it to not attack us when we free it and just run off instead. I might. I'll have to see.
Where would it run to?
I mean, wherever it wants to. We can't really tell it where to run.
I kind of rather
We have a
have.
spare. We have an extra glyph key. We can just give it to him and say good luck.
Cause some chaos.
I mean, we could just send it to the abyssal prison. Let the vampire attack it or it kill it.
Yeah, or it could rat us out. Who knows? Like,
I mean,
I kind of like the idea of causing some chaos and just, distracting.
I mean, I don't think it's enough to attack us. It'd be 5-on-1, 6-on-1.
Mhm.
Well, it is a chosen of the gods.
I'd rather have a
Yeah, but-
an ally than a loose end.
Really. I just don't know if I can get us an ally. Alright.
yeah, maybe not an ally, but just someone
Someone
who
that's not
has
gonna rat us
similar
out.
goals, or just someone who has similar goals of causing chaos and killing his captors or her
Okay.
captors.
Alright.
Does the creature speak common?
We don't know, but we think it probably does.
We assume it does. They're intelligent creatures from Favor, and almost everyone speaks common.
Oh, but the next question is how do we get it out of the glyph if we want to do that? Dispel magic, use a spell slot?
Yeah.
Well, let's go see if we can just mess up the runes, and that'll get it out. Who knows?
Should
No,
we
it might.
continue a short rest?
I was gonna say, are we gonna rest first?
I could use some hit dice, yeah. And if we are, then I will use one of my Bardic Inspirations.
I can only spend one hit die, or I choose to only spend
Oh
one
no,
hit
that
die. But I
doesn't,
can
that doesn't
So
use
you can
Bardic
spend
Inspiration.
more than that.
Yeah, I just mean like I like to try to use as many as I'll get back on our next rest.
Yep, I'm using all of mine.
Okay.
Pretty
Um,
much.
Yeah. I'm
Using
gonna...
all yours?
Yeah. I had to use 6 of them, 6 of my 9 last time. So I'm
Yeah, our
using
next
the
long
remaining.
rest is a ways away.
Well, we have them
I'm
for a
aware of
reason.
that, but I'm also at less than half my hit points.
Yeah, so
exactly
am I.
right.
add that to the hit dice if you take hit dice. That's
Cool.
my Song of Rest.
Do we get a short rest in?
Son of a bitch.
Nothing's gonna bother you for the next hour. Nothing comes through the gate, and nothing is banging down the door.
I guess I'll go one more since that was the worst roll ever. Damn it. 5,
Oh.
9, 14.
happy it
God,
was.
that sucked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I was happy my first one. Oh,
So we were talking about a system I was creating before the session. I want to point out that one of the penalties for having a level 3 stress is all of your healing is halved, and that includes hit dice.
Oof.
So again, that is a brutal, very mean system.
4
Oh, it's better.
level 3 stress.
Ah.
Yeah, it's running a Curse of Strahd for TTRP on Saturdays in the future, and I wanted to create a new system to kind of emphasize just how horror-filled the system is, even for players who try to be like super bright sun, ignorant, and disregarding like the horrible and terrifying shit that happens there. So I created a system called the Stress system,
I love
and
it.
it works a lot like Exhaustion.
That is awesome. And I realized I'm an idiot.
Why?
I should have used Channel
Preserve
Divinity.
life. I was gonna say it, but I'm like, you guys are level 9, 10, somewhere in there. You guys gotta know your shit by
Nine.
now.
Oh yeah. Well, it was more of a like use Channel Divinity before we short rest because it comes back during the short rest. But then I never know if something's gonna attack us, so I probably would have kept it safe anyway. It would have only been a couple hit points per person.
Yeah, that's what takes us back to half, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, so I wouldn't benefit from it. So
I think I was already at half.
I would have had like 2 or 3 hit points.
Okay.
Would have been major.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Watch me get knocked unconscious by like 2 or 3 hit points.
Is it possible to use, like, if I inspired somebody, could they use that inspiration to re-roll a hit die? Or is that not something you can do?
That's not how that works.
Oh wait, it's not. It's not a re-roll. It's a plus D8.
Yeah.
Um.
I hate that they called those two the exact same thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're different things.
It says-
I really, I'm gonna think of another name to call that instead of DM inspiration. I'm gonna think of it's gonna be like DM boon or something like that, not an inspiration, just to make that make sense. There are also boons in D&D, but they all work differently, so that's fine.
I have one still.
But could they use that D8 on an inspiration roll?
No.
Or I mean, yeah, hit die roll.
It's not an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
I'm ready. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
yep.
Let's do this.
Oh right, Blisk should heal because Blisk
Ah.
also is a creature who has hit points and hit die and stuff. I totally forgot he was even there
We'll
for
be
that
back.
second. He rolled 4. I'm gonna say he rolled 4 last time, so he's at that. I'm gonna say he'll roll a couple this time. Way to max roll your first 2, Blisk. Way to just show off, you little bugger. I was like, roll 9, roll 9. Well, he's just having a great day. And then he rolls 3 really crappy ones, so way to drop the ball as soon as you're done raising the bar. Okay.
Alright! So, are we good now?
Yes.
What are we even doing now? Why can't we just leave? I mean, you all found me. We could go home. I know we could get paid, but... I mean... Is it?
And he stops. You realize
Yeah,
he's really contemplating worth it in his mind right now.
Balin's like just staring at Blisk like without saying a word, like, how's this gonna go? Like doesn't want to influence the decision, just wants to see what happens.
And then he starts to mumble in Goblin.
You can get a nosebleed if you don't stop him.
It's like, yeah, that's. Don't worry.
One hand raises up like he's balancing the scales.
All right, let's get going.
And he looks at Balin.
Balin, do you think this is more dangerous than a dragon? I mean, dragons breathe, but this place has magic. Magic. Dragon. Magic.
I think it's
What's my
just
cut
as,
again?
it's just as dangerous. When I take into account what we know now and what we knew then.
Just pay me, but we better find good stuff down here.
Oh yeah,
Slings
definitely.
his sword over his shoulder.
It's just I love he like girds his resolve.
All right. We'll go back through the Black Gate.
Once more to the breach.
Once more onto the breach. Alright, are you going back to the same destination?
Yes.
Alright,
I
I
wish.
realize I did not even actually move you off the map, so what I
Yeah.
did was pointless. I apologize for that, but that's
That's all
fine.
good.
I literally just moved you into the corner of the last room and then moved you back here, so There. You all step back through the portal without any issue. It is exactly the same as you left it. Nothing has changed in the past hour, including the chosen one of the Yuan-Ti sitting inside the gated, the cage, the dice cage.
Yeah, start walking up and say, like, you guys want to take a look at this thing and see if we can just disrupt the runes?
I turn to Arena and give her the go ahead arms forward motiony thing.
I believe that's called a gesture.
I pray.
All right, I'm gonna go up. I have the cantrip message. It says, is that a telepathic thing, or does he actually have to be able
You
to
actually
speak?
have to speak.
Okay. All right. Sending is not, but I'm not gonna cast sending 1,000 times. I'm gonna go up about here. I'm gonna look at it, and I'm gonna say, "Can you speak?"
He doesn't say anything.
He looks like he's immobilized, so he may not be able to move his lips, but he can move his eyes.
All right.
Hello.
Look left twice if you if you can hear me.
His tongue slithers out of his face, pointing at you.
At me? Or at Balin?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. So he can move his tongue. He may not be willing to speak. We might be willing to let you go. Do you have any say in that?
Again, he is quiet.
One tongue flip for yes. Two tongue flips for no.
I think he understands us.
His tongue does continue to slither in and out, though.
But not like distinctly one or two.
It's very snake-like. He seems to just be continually testing the air.
Again, Balin shrugs and says, if he can understand us, he's not very talkative, and if he can't, then we're just looking stupid. So
I have tongues that I can cast. It's third
is it
level,
really
but
worth it though? I
have-
mean, if we
I have all my spell slots still.
yeah, but we may need them later. Like, there's nothing we can learn from this thing. It could lie to us. It could whatever. I mean, if we take it out and it swings on us, then we know it was not a friend. And if we take it out and it runs away, we wouldn't know if it was going to be friend or foe anyway. So we're going to create chaos. We're going to take the risk. We should just let it go, give it a glyph key, and shrug, and don't hurt it, unless it hurts us.
All right, I'm a little hesitant about letting it go since it's a chosen of the gods. It sounds pretty powerful. Although it has been
Blankshaw chosen of the
extracted from
gods. Garlo is chosen. According to Garlo, I'm chosen by the gods. And we all suck at everything.
Try taking a prisoner.
I don't know if taking it prisoner will do us any good. Also, I don't know if we have any better chance of taking it prisoner than we do of beating it.
Let's just make it clear that make the center open. Blisk, move away from the gate, like as knows it can go. Well, once we get it free, just let it know it can go and won't have any trouble unless. But first we gotta figure out how to get it out.
Okay. I will say to the creature, we are going to release you. If you attack us, we will kill you. This is your opportunity to run and escape.
I'm not sure if I should call that a persuasion or an intimidation check. You just threatened to kill it.
Well, I'm trying to reason with it. So I'd probably say I was trying to persuade. I mean,
Because
that's
don't
same
make me
roll.
kill you is friendly.
an ultimatum is never just persuasive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that is in core an ultimatum. Bother us, we kill you. So this will be an intimidation check.
Okay. Ah,
It's a Balin roll right there.
At this point, it says in who here speaks Draconic?
I believe I do. Yes, I do. Hmm.
I do not.
It says,
Yeah, not me.
"What have you been blithering about?"
I speak in Draconic. I suppose you don't speak Common.
I have no need for the lesser language.
Fair enough. We are thinking about letting you out.
Free me then.
Yes. But we don't want to get hurt and know that if you attack us, we will have to defend ourselves.
The chosen of Zahir have nothing to fear.
Still, if you leave without hurting us, you will be less tired when you come across the people you really need to take care of.
Do I hear the god's name and recognize it?
It is spoken in Draconic.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if Sahir like came out the same in all languages or not.
That's an interesting. That's a bit like trying to identify two people speaking in another language you don't recognize and trying to figure out when they say somebody's name.
Okay.
You have no context clues to realize they're saying a name.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But obviously, you understand Zahir because you speak Draconic, Arena.
Mm-hmm. We can provide you with a key that will let you go out through that gate, and I point at the gate, the black gate, so you can escape or take revenge on these people or whatever you plan on doing. We only ask that you don't attack us.
At that point, he repeats, "The chosen of Zahir have nothing to fear." Faithful are rewarded.
You have faith that Sahir will free you.
He blinks a few times.
Is that your test of faith?
Which point he will then say, almost like he's having a different conversation.
I'm sorry, you cut out what?
Free me.
Oh.
Garlo pipes up and says, I think it's a little unfair that you're going to just let this guy go and let him go back.
Do you speak Draconic?
Oh no, but you guys were saying before, like, we'll just let him go.
Ah.
You know, that wasn't an option for me. He kind of crosses his arms. I had to stay and fight with you.
Wait, that's not how that went down. We didn't conscript you. I was just saying it was safer to fight in a group than go out through another large group of monsters by yourself.
I mean, you guys never offered me a glyph key to leave.
We didn't have any at the time.
No, I gave him one.
I think we
I
should
gave
make
him
him
mine.
fight with us.
Well,
yeah,
back when
I
you
just-
recruited him,
when
you
we
only
first
had
met
the
him.
one.
Yeah, at the
So
recruit.
you couldn't just let him out.
Yep.
Well, you could have, but you didn't. I mean, you all could have gone back to the gatehouse with it and just let him go, but there were other extenuating circumstances as well. Sorry, I'll let you. You guys
You know,
discuss that as you
um,
see fit.
and outside of that point, Carl will say, "We're stuck in this, hellhole, and we're going to let what could be a strong warrior just go free. He should fight with us. We might need every man we can."
From what he's saying, I don't think we'll be able to persuade him to fight with us. I'm not sure if we can even persuade him not to attack us.
I see here. How long will end up being here if we leave him?
I'll say in Draconic, how long have you been here?
He makes a distinct effort to shrug his shoulders, but it seems almost painful to do so. Time has lost meaning.
A long time then.
Was he captured?
How were you captured? How did they bring you here?
He shrugs his shoulders again. I do not remember.
Yep.
If the faithful are rewarded, why are you here?
He stares long and hard at you when you say that.
I am offering you a way to escape. We don't want to hurt you if we don't have to. And while I'm sure that there's a good chance you could make mincemeat of us, it would be in your best intentions to not hurt us. Because then you might have more energy for the next enemies you come across, if that helps at all. We don't wish to be enemies. We only wish to stop them from using your power to strengthen whatever it is they're trying to strengthen.
Almost like pieces of a puzzle have been put to place in his head. His eyes go wide, his tongue slithering and whipping back and forth as he says, "You are not faithful of Sahir. You did not come to rescue me. Consume! Consume! Consume!" As he begins to struggle against his bindings.
Okay, that's a no. I'm saying it in common. He's angry.
What'd you
Yep.
do?
I didn't
mean-
do anything. He's angry because we're not faithful.
Make
of
an
Sahir.
insight check.
Okay. Wait, who?
You!
Okay.
Hard to put it together. Jesus, guys, roll better.
The story is so bad
trying.
when we do this.
We can't. This is a social interaction. even with expertise, this party is doomed.
Um,
I
Does
want
it-
you to succeed, damn it. I can't do that when you roll 9 after 9 after 9.
I turn to Philipinus and I say, "Does it look like he can break those bindings?"
Probably not. But I don't know.
I would have done that a long time ago if you could.
Yep. Exactly.
He's angry. Maybe we should just leave him here. I think
We ha-
freeing him is a bad idea.
We have to get rid of him somewhere.
Can
Go,
we attack
go.
him without freeing him?
But that's what I'm saying. That's the only way we can do it.
Carl looks at him and says, he doesn't look that tough, and he doesn't even have a weapon.
He's a chosen, though.
He's a snakehead. He's got snake teeth.
Yeah, but aren't
We
you
all have
like good
teeth.
at not being poisoned?
Um. Ay, ay, ay.
I really don't think we need this. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, we can just go. I think that
Let's just go.
he's probably not a helper. He's not a helper, Snake Man. We'll free him later when
But do we leave him
whatever
here?
the thing it's feeding is different.
Alright.
I mean,
That's the wondering.
Carlo's half tempted just to throw a spear at him and kill him. He says this out loud. He's like, why don't we just kill him where he stands? Someone's drawing power off of him. So he's making the world worse for us.
If you want to try that, go ahead. I'm gonna stand back here in case it somehow breaks the bonds that are holding him.
Did she ever say? Did Irene ever say the name of the god?
Yes, I did. I said that he is angry that we are not faithful of Sahir.
Can I make her at least a religion check?
Same.
Your religion check.
Yay.
Ha!
Can
Never
we?
mind.
It's like,
Well,
Well-
even with the 5, unfortunately, all you can really remember is that Zahir is a deity of the Awanti specifically, but it's hard to say specific to what that deity is resplendent of.
am I able
sounds
to
right.
try too?
Are you proficient in religion? Because at this point, everybody's rolled
Nope.
and failed. Oh, never mind them.
Yeah. All right. Just gonna kind of move away and nod towards those doors.
Yeah, okay. Go for it.
His struggling has very quickly petered out. He does not appear to have a whole lot of energy to him.
Carlo looks at the group. Do you want me to try to do damage on him, or do you want to just leave him?
Philinus, do you think trying to hurt him could break the bonds?
We'll find out soon. I don't know.
Alright. I'm going to take up my rapier and kind of, like, get in a defensive stance. Just in case.
Carlo's like not. He's looking for feedback from the group. He's not just going to go and do this. He's saying, "Look, this is a group decision. Do you want me to try to attack him, or do you want to just move on?"
I want him out of that little area in one way or another.
Yeah, I think we've. I mean, my mind has changed on this now. But if it's feeding something evil and now wants to attack us regardless of whether we let it go or not, it just went from hostage to liability. So
Arena,
Yes.
That's Carlo's thought too.
can you
Yeah,
ask
eventually, it's going to get him.
Can you ask it if it wants revenge on its captors first? Because we
will-
can help it get that.
I will, say in
yeah.
Draconic.
I'll say in honor of his god's name, Sahir. Sahir?
Sahir.
We might be pushing our luck with that one.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
so that he can help honor Sahir.
Oh, okay.
He should kill all of his captors, and we can help him by showing him where to go.
Okay, I will say in Draconic, we can help you get revenge on your captors so that you may honor Sahir by killing them. Wait for a response.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay.
First
Finally.
time.
I mean, I do have plus 13. So.
Hmm. God, how do you even respond in this situation? Because he thinks you guys have been lying to him.
Hmm.
Because he believed, obviously, that you all were followers of Zahiria to free him. But then you let on, no, you weren't, so he feels he's been lied to. And you're obviously not Yuan Ti.
Only one person's been talking to him.
Well, you obviously came in as a group talking amongst each other.
Yeah, I feel like if I were him, I'd definitely say yes, but it would be very much up in the air whether I just plan to kill all of us after releasing and then go get my revenge.
And of me
Don't
of my
say
enemy
that.
is my friend.
You're not helping.
Doesn't speak common. It's okay.
No, I was saying Blankshaw is not helping by telling Lake that he would totally kill us.
He
No, no,
will
no, no.
say in response to that,
Liars and cheats shall know the devouring of Sahir.
I never told you that I was one of Sahir's followers. I never said that. I only said that we want to free you.
Pleading is for the weak.
Is he taking it?
If I recall, you were pleading for me to free you.
he looks at you,
Yeah, that didn't help.
his neck snapping to one side, as his body begins to contort and shift.
Uh-oh. That was the wrong thing to say. I take another piece of that.
As he is going to... Don't keep moving now, we're about to roll to
Okay.
initiative.
Sorry.
I-
That was the wrong thing to say, but
As his entire body warbles and shifts about. I don't have another token for this on this, so I'm going to drag him over here. Boop. And becomes a gigantic snake.
great.
My God, we gotta roll better. This is terrible.
was going to be a TPK somehow.
We're going to use this one.
Quick heads up, I just ordered some food. So in about half an hour or so, I'm going to run upstairs, run downstairs.
In about half hour, it'll be 8, so we might take a break then.
That's why I ordered food now. But I can also do it like during a round when after I've just gone.
Alright. He's going to get 17. As his form literally overfills from the bind set around it, and he stumbles out, writhing out into the floor. Yeah, you provoked him to the point where he was just tired of putting up with this. He found the strength to go on. And as his form does it, he charges directly for you, Arena.
Great.
Slithering along the floor, his massive form reaching up and moving to circle around you. As his massive snake-like form circles about and begins to constrict you. You are grappled, restrained, and take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yay!
As his head rears about, and he is going to bite you with advantage, because you are now restrained, sinking his large fangs into you for only 5 points of piercing damage, but 10 points of poison damage.
Not looking so great.
Garlo.
That was fast.
Also, Arena screams.
Garlo is going to go in and swing 3 times at this guy. He's not going to rage. So here. So I make my attacks.
A 10 will miss. You're not at advantage.
Yeah, excuse me for that. 1, and then you get to attack again, right?
That
Should
will
have hit.
hit.
It's going to be 11.
Cleave
8.
into its massive side for 11 points of damage.
That should still do the radiant, or no?
You're not raging.
Doesn't work. Okay.
Fine Fury's only while raging.
And then my offhand.
Which will also miss.
Then I will, if I disengage, it'll
You have used your action, you can't disengage. If you move away, you will provoke an attack of opportunity, though.
no, I'll stay there.
Okay. Balin.
1, 2. We'll draw the Crusader sword and wail on this dude.
That's a hit.
And the booming.
You really need to say before you attack if you're
Oh,
booming
I'm
or not.
sorry. Yeah, I just forgot 'cause it used to be my standard move, and I have been always doing it. You're right. I can undo that. I can just take that away since I didn't say it if you want.
Because it's the thing where if you do it and it's like, oh, I didn't declare booming. It's like, okay,
No,
bonus
yeah,
action, move away. It's like,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't even think about that. So just tell me if this counts on it and change going forward, or
well, that hits regardless. So you can go ahead and roll damage on him.
I did. 10 slashing and 10 slashing, so 20 total.
All right. The snake is looking significantly bloody from that.
Okay, and like, can you check my Crusader sword damage? Shouldn't that be a +6 because it's a +1 sword? Because I have
It
5
is.
dex and.
+6.
+1 magic on the next line.
Oh, okay. That's what I was like. It was showing up weird. Okay. And then I will disengage. So it's at 10, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's gonna be it. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So Dennis.
I'm going to disengage. And then that'd be it. That's all I can do.
Alrighty. Arena.
Can I cast spells, or since I'm restrained, I probably
You
can't?
can. You're just
I can.
restrained.
Okay. Dimension Door is nothing but verbal, so I'm gonna cast Dimension Door and go back here if I can.
Okay. So you just teleport to the other side of the room.
Yes, I do. That's my action. And for my bonus action,
Oh, I'm
don't
sorry. You
have a
took
lot.
more damage than I thought. You took an additional.
oh no,
From the bite and the constriction, you took additional 11 points of poison damage.
you already told me I took 10 points
I
of
know.
poison damage. Oh,
That was not considering something else that needed to be considered.
okay. Then I am really not looking good. Yep.
Alrighty. Alright, if that's all for you, we move on to Blinkshaw.
Alright. I see that Arena's not looking so good over there. Oh yeah, you're
I didn't roll for Blisk again.
Yeah, I was gonna say Blisk isn't initiative either. He probably would have gone as well.
He got a 12, so he would have been before Arena, so he'll go after Blinkshaw.
Alright. I'm gonna healing word Arena.
Yeah.
Sorry it's not super high level, but I do want to keep those for grouping. Healing. For 9.
Thank you.
Betcha. And 2 for me. And all y'all are disengaging. I'm going to engage. That is as far as I can go, and then I'm gonna swing for an attack
Okay. That's a hit.
for 15. Not 15, 12. I can
Yes. For 12. I was going to say, yeah, that is 12.
and that is the
As you slam into him with a passion, Blisk is going to hop in as well, drawing out his longsword and swinging mightily, cleaving into it twice, cutting a large swath of its skin apart as he looks very, very bad. But that is his turn. On his next turn, with as much passion and energy he seemed to have the moment he broke free, he seems to fall completely apart at this point, his body falling to the ground, the portions of Snake burning and ripping away, leaving just the Yuan-Ti you saw moments ago sprawled out on the floor, conscious but breathing heavily and no seeming condition to do anything. Conscious, but almost like the last dredge of energy was for that act of, well, retaliation. He does nothing on his turn, and we move on. But he lies on the floor helpless.
Garlo.
Yeah. Garlo is.
No, I say, because Garlo doesn't look crazy-eyed right now. I say, just ready in case he lashes out. But let Arena talk to him again.
You really think that's the best idea? I say from back in the corner.
Finish him off. This thing needs to be killed. It's evil. It attacked us. It's fueling evil. We gave it all the chances we could.
I agree with Balin.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to draw some rope and say, let's bind him up. Has a snake here, bind him up. I'm gonna grapple him though. That's what Garlo would do. He's just gonna tackle him and try to get him in a full Nelson.
You don't need to make a roll. He can't resist you. But he's also laying on the ground, so full Nelson is kind of lifting him up and then holding him in a sitting position.
Basically, I do full Nelson, hands behind his head, so ideally he can't bite me. But I say, there, warrior, you fought well. And I hold him up so he's standing. Give him some dignity.
All right. He is not fighting back, so at this point, there's no point in him saying an initiative.
I agree with Balin. I don't think there's anything I can do here. Also, ow.
Well, says, surely there must be a way that we can convince him to fight with us. Such a beast.
He's a religious zealot crazy person that was offered freedom and instead attacked us. I was trying to get him out of here alive just for the sake of not leaving something bound. It's clearly it's clearly an evil thing that has to go at this point. It almost killed Arena. It's going to try and kill us. You can chuck it in the Black Gate, but if we see it again, it's going to come after us again.
Arena.
Mm-hmm.
This thing was a chosen, but we don't know what kind of chosen power might have been draining away. Maybe it will at least tell us that.
I doubt it, but I can ask. I will very hesitantly, go step. No, I'll stay here.
What kind of power were they stealing from you? In Draconic.
Says, is he saying anything?
The GM has to think. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Because part of him just thinks, I want her to just shut up already, because she is
Okay.
pissing me off.
Yeah.
But that may just be me being I'm a very impatient person, so I'm trying to think of what he would feel in this situation. He says, I don't know. Because he honestly doesn't know. That's the only answer he can give.
He doesn't know.
What power did his god give him?
What power did your god give you, specifically?
Might be the big snake thing, guys.
Yeah,
Just
that's what
turn
I'm
it.
guessing.
Could it be just faith?
Well, faith is something you give to your god. Your god doesn't give you faith. I think.
Wait, didn't we get from the nature check that they have shape-shifting powers? Naturally, just for being snakes?
Can we let
That's
him
what I put in my notes.
Can we let him answer?
He does not answer that question.
Okay. He doesn't answer. So, Raina's like rubbing her arm where she's got a bruise forming. I think we should just put it down.
Yeah, just end it, Garlo.
Hmm.
Hopefully Zahir's a warrior god, and this honorable death will get you into Snake Valhalla.
Yeah, I mean, I hold him up and present him over to Blinkshaw. You can run him through if you want to.
I look at him, and in common, Dwarven, Elvish, and Goblin, ask him, can you understand me in each of those?
He does not seem to understand any of those languages. But at that point, he does say something, but not in Draconic. Does anybody speak Abyssal?
No.
So unfortunately, that one is lost on you all.
Maybe Bliss speaks Abyssal. You should check.
He does not speak Abyssal. He barely speaks Common.
I had to bring that up.
I look at Aran and say, well, ask him what he said in Draconic. Maybe he'll repeat himself.
We don't understand that language if you feel like repeating yourself, which I doubt.
His eyes narrow as you hold him there, and his head lunges in towards you, Blinkshaw, as if he needs to bite you.
Do I?
So you may
Make my
swing at
ready
him,
action.
because he's
Okay.
held back, so he
Yep.
can't reach you, but you can easily reach him.
I doubt that will hit him.
He is restrained, and you bludgeon his head in
All right.
as he collapses. His head snaps, neck whipsing over to one side, and he falls completely limp, not just mostly limp from his weakened state.
Well, glad I was ready.
Look,
Balin's
drops
kind of,
5 rounds.
Balin takes like some cloth and wipes off the snake blood, sheathes his blade. He looks clearly annoyed, kind of at the party, like side-eyed. Just shakes his head and says, like, we're never gonna get through this if we keep doubting every choice that we make. He just walks to the door and waits for everyone else to get together.
I have no idea what you mean. Blinktraw says to you, we need all the
Okay.
help we can get in here.
With these things, it's literally an evil creature that attacked us instead of being set free.
Oh,
That is, to me, far too sadistic.
the creature itself wasn't going to help us clearly, but knowledge of what we might have to deal with in the future, that could have been invaluable. And even if it was very unlikely, if it could have given us any insight into the power that was drained from it, we could better prepare our spells, our tactics to take on whatever's ahead.
If we're going to interrogate every single thing before we kill it, it's going to kill us eventually.
So while these two are bickering, Garlo's gonna open up this snake's mouth and take a look inside. Are there like poison glands or anything like that he can see?
Make a nature check. Not that you can see.
Garlo holds his head open. Is like, someone look at this. Do we want this?
Raina shudders.
I mean, let's
Good
see
parts.
if
I've
there's
never
any
seen any creature like this before.
let's see if there's anything on it. Phil Dennis, do you want to check?
No.
All right, I move a guiding hand to Balin. Balin, do you want to check?
I didn't even want to talk to it.
All right, I go over and look it over. Nope, nothing on it.
I mean, he was only wearing tattered pants. Definitely wasn't carrying any weapons or other items.
No, like hidden glyph card or anything.
No.
Okay.
He was a prisoner here. He did not have a glyph card.
I turn to Arena and I say, Arena,
Mm-hmm.
I only have 5 spell slots remaining.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
have
give you.
I have a potion though. I'll probably drink that.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of a heal,
Okay.
but it's just unfortunately it has to be a smaller one again.
Okay. I'm gonna drink
And
my potion. Awesome. Yes, I did make a macro for that.
call.
Oh, much better. Let's get going. I'm kind of freaked out by that thing.
Is everyone all right if we do our break right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
15 minutes.
Okay.
Sweet as cookie. See you soon.
All right, fair back.
So, you there?
Say what?
So, with the Yuan-Ti dead, and you all standing about curious and wondering what progress to make next, decision is yours. What you do?
Well, everyone's thinking about that. Garlo's gonna take his snakehead prize because he's never seen this creature before, and for a little while, cut off that creature's head.
Garlo might expect us to look at him like he's crazy, but we're like, yeah, trophy.
I mean,
Make a. I guess in this instance, you're making a survival check, not a nature check.
Right, what am I trying to survive here?
it's like to get a good trophy.
All right.
Mm,
It's not the cleanest cut of its head, but it's severing the head of a humanoid. It's not overly difficult.
nice.
Can I listen again since there was some ruckus, or since I already rolled once, I wouldn't think to?
I mean, if you want to listen again, it's been over an hour.
Oh, that's right, it has. Okay, again because there was a ruckus. I'm like, let me just make sure nothing in that room might have heard us. Same roll. We're good. There's nothing in this other room whatsoever.
All right, sounds good. 1.
Wait, no. Let Lake actually rule it. I'm just laughing at my misfortune.
You don't hear anything. There's nothing in the other room whatsoever.
And like, I
Two.
looked at, I give him thumbs up. We're good to go. Blink Shaw, and I hit the door.
I'm letting Arena and Fildens move if they want to. And Blink Shaw.
You
No, I
kick
already said
open
Blink Shaw in
the
character.
door
It has to be mistimed every time.
into a staircase that leads upwards.
See, I told you it was empty.
Charge!
I see Arena had moved below me, so after I kick in the door, I go, ah!
Balin just walks through.
Do I believe it?
Like, actually,
Make
wait,
a
no. When I get to
deception,
there,
Blake
hold on.
Shaw.
Make an insight. Make an insight.
When I get to here, I will investigate the landing first because we are in a heavily trapped dungeon.
Okay.
So I'm going to start looking around that area for anything out of the ordinary that might be a trap.
Make another perception check. You don't find anything.
Okay. Now, confident, I step up, and I will listen and investigate this one.
I'm gonna just use that perception. Go ahead and make an investigation.
Okay.
The door does not appear to be trapped.
Thumbs up to Blinkshaw.
I will point at this square and say, Valen investigated and walked on that one, so I think it's good.
Okay.
2. 3 Blinkshaw.
Blinkshaw.
All right. Kicking open this door, you kicked open the last one. You see there is even more people in this room. 2 dread warriors turn their heads over towards the door as it kicks open, with far more figures following along. The warriors already weapons drawn as if preparing for a fight. The apprentice in the corner raising a hand as if casting a spell. The figure in the middle, gray-skinned and completely festooned with tattoos, hands raised up, kind of shakily turns his head back towards you as if he's not quite sure what's going on, before the apprentice screams out, "There's some more intruders! Get them!"
This is the one that screamed out, or is that the tattooed one?
No, this guy's the one that screamed out. They rolled like shit. Because they rolled like shit, you guys rolled amazing.
It can never be staggered. It's always like one group at the bottom, one group at the top. Come on, Garlo, outroll me.
Did not.
I didn't click his token. That's fine.
Ah, damn you.
Oh, whoops a daisy.
And don't need his character sheet. Do need Blisk, though. I'm going to remember to roll Blisk's initiative!
Carlo.
And he's going first.
Carlo.
Do I have to re-roll or no?
You click your token, re-roll, and then you can modify it in
You can
the
do
turn
that
order.
You have to type what you roll, but yeah.
I don't even see your... Oh, 19.
Got it.
Alrighty. In descending order, Blisk, the goblin, is up first. And he, since he's way down the hall, just says,
Ah! What's going on?
We're fighting.
He's
We're
useless.
fighting? Well, that's a really silly thing to be doing.
and he just continues to ramble as he moves back around the corner. He's gonna take the hide action. As you all were just stuck in that hallway, and he doesn't like the idea of being stuck in the hallway. He hides.
Bravery.
Intelligence is how he's lived as long as he have.
I know.
Balin.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to get into any spot to actually hurt these jabronis. So, hold up, wait a minute. Let me check the range on this. Okay. I'm gonna crack out the old not Wand of Secrets, Spider's staff. I'm gonna drop me a web. That's 4x4, right? 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna drop it. Meow. And then I will move dashingly 1, 2. Actually, I don't have to dash. I'm just gonna go to.
That's a 25-foot cube, not a 20-foot cube.
I think you have to snap it to the grid.
Oh,
At least I think I'm not going crazy because it's 5,
it's 4x4,
10,
right?
15, 20. Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, it would be 4x4.
That's what it is, right? 5, 10, 15, 20.
It was-
Yeah, but it has to be snapped to the grid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it can't be placed between squares. That's why we have the area of effect templates.
Oh, right. Let me grab that and make everyone's life easier. Sorry. I knew that I was doing this wrong. I'm like, but I hadn't cast the spell in a bit. Once I find it. Thank you. Oh. Can I?
has to.
Okay.
The way
oh,
it
it
works
has to
is
snap to the grid. Okay.
yeah. I have to turn off is drawing, and that's how it snaps properly. Because you have to
Okay.
center it between 4 squares. Is how it works.
Okay. At the very least, I was going for the mages anyway, which looks like I can't get more than that. But yeah, I wanted to get the mages anyway. And that's my action. And then actually, I might do the rogue thing for once and not be the only guy in the room and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and take the hide action next to my buddy Blisk.
Okay.
And I'll quickly whisper 2 wizards in the back in a web, 2 warriors in the front coming to kill us, and let's get ready to run in there and kick some ass.
Okay. Garlo.
So, newbie question, guys. Is it possible to like ready an action? Like if I see someone casting a spell, I would then proceed to close the doors and protect us.
I mean, you could in theory do that, but keep in mind that ready actions take place after somebody else takes their action, so their spell would go off before your action would go off.
And you'd have to you'd have to use your actual action, not your like you can't save and interact with object kind of thing.
Like, it would take up your turn to save your action.
Right. Yeah, it would be. Yep, my action would be to like close and hold the door. If I saw them casting a spell, but it sounds like the spell would go off before I'd get a chance to close the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will instead.
Actually, no, that's
Javelin.
stupid. You should be able to close the door before they do that. Because the whole point of it would be to close the door before they cast the spell, so...
Right, or so if you're allowing that, Lake, that's what I would probably try to do.
Okay, so you're going to close the door if any of them try to cast a spell. Blinkshaw.
Do you tell me to stay here as part of that?
I tell you what I'm doing, and I don't make any other commands. Just say, I kind of say to our group, guys, I'll close the doors if I see it.
All right, I see you looking to hold the door, though. That guy looks like he needs a sacred flame in his face.
Which guy?
The wizard guy, the big dude.
He's not quite restrained yet because.
Hey yo!
I didn't whisper it, but yeah, you can see what he rolled.
I think he succeeded.
He does indeed succeed.
And I will be done.
Alrighty. Start of his turn. He does have to make a dex save. His second dex save is not nearly as good as his first is. He appears to be restrained by the webs as he kind of stumbles around, looking down at what's happening to him. He kind of leers up, and he is going to cast a spell. So, Garlo, you slam the door shut before any effect goes off.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, it does keep you from seeing what spell he was casting.
It's about to do something, guys. I don't like that kind of magic.
Arena.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up here behind Blankshaw. I guess I'm gonna hold a firebolt until the doors open again.
Okay.
Bill sees you holding a fireball, your hands glowing, and says, he gets it. Oh, fling the doors open.
You'll have to wait till your turn to do that.
He knows.
Alright. The apprentice has to make a dex save. What is the DC on Wand of Webs? I want to say it's itself has its own DC. 15? All right.
It does, but it happens to be the same as my DC right now.
Okay. Alrighty. That's that. He is going to... Alright then. Bill Dennis.
I'll move up a square and then ready a frostbolt. Or Ray Frost, I mean. At the first enemy I see.
Okay. On their turn. They are going to do that. On Blisk's turn, he's going to look up at the hallway and say, as he watches everybody, he's going to turn back to Balin.
What do you think they're waiting for? Shouldn't they be rushing in like idiots right about now?
They're really big on this like peekaboo door thing. Let's see how it plays out.
He keeps sitting exactly where he's sitting in.
Yeah, I'm
Balin.
doing the same thing.
Okay.
I'm like, no, I don't think it's smart, but it's different. So I'm gonna ready in action to firebolt the first thing I can see. But I'm like,
You
no, I
can't
mean
see
at this
up the
point,
stairs. These stairs
I can't
are
see
too
what
feet up.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take the dodge action and hide.
Okay.
You're hiding.
Back to Garlo then.
I will. Can I open the doors and then take a dodge action? If anyone has like a ready action. I guess.
You could dodge, yeah.
Nah, that's okay. I'm gonna open the doors and throw a javelin. If there's anything I can reach.
You can just open the door and then decide what to do because it's your turn still.
Okay. Then I'll do that.
If there was a ready to action, he wouldn't have had the dodge action ready for that, though. Is the issue. He would have to take the dodge action before opening the door. But if he doesn't want to take the dodge action, all right, we're just gonna. Why can't I grab this? I hate it when dynamic lighting does this. I want to actually grab the dynamic lighting and move it, not just delete it. You stupid door. Fuck you, door. They're gone now. You cease to exist.
Oh, at the wizard, dude.
All right.
I
A
don't
14
even
does
see
not
him.
hit him.
I don't even see him anymore.
The only wizard you see is this guy over here, and that does
Okay.
not hit him.
Yep. Okay.
Garlo says they're flanking the doors. The two skeletons.
I have
Actually,
no
I don't think
range.
you'd be able to see them where you're sitting at, because if you're pushing the doors open, they will be blocked from your view. It's kind of awkward to say because the doors themselves are, because they're hiding around the corner and the doors will be blocking the view. But again, we're also using a system that doesn't account for that, so you can see them. Yeah.
I will. Free action. I will take one movement here, and attempt to grapple this guy.
It's going to swing at you as you step in front of it, but it will miss horribly. Make an athletics check. You grapple it.
I am going to drag it back towards the group. Be like, I got me a live one. Bringing home the bacon. Bringing home the bacon.
Just don't eat it yet.
Bony. All right.
Alright, so you use up all your movements to drag it to there.
Would that
Or
count as?
no, actually not all, because you have extra.
Would that count as a ray of frost coming off, or no?
You would have had your ray of frost when the door was opened, right? So.
But the range wasn't there, so for the last guy.
Then yes, sure.
Okay.
Initiate Garlo. Initiate Garlo.
Can I hope?
I wish I had that one still. Could it? Oh.
That will miss everyone.
Oh.
His AC is higher than that.
As VB question, when things are grappled, there's no like advantage on ranged attacks on that creature. Okay.
No. They just have their movement speed just becomes 0. Alrighty, that'll be Garlo's turn. We come to Blinkshaw.
I'm gonna smack that guy. No, I'm not.
You are
And
going
I'm
to
done.
smack off his shield. This guy. So I have to keep on double checking. A fireball erupts from thin air in the middle of the web as it sails off towards your group. As the invisible wizard becomes visible.
Damn. Hooray for us!
And yeah, there's no way he can not get that druid, that guy in it, so he's just going to say fuck it and put it basically to here,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to get everybody, even the red warriors. So everybody, including Blisk, is going to have to make a dex save.
And me? I'm behind
You're
him.
out of it.
Okay.
I want to use absorb elements on it.
One of them succeed. The one, ironically, the one that is being held down is the one that succeeds. Alrighty. So everybody is going to take half damage from this because everybody succeeds except for Phildennis, but Phildennis will become resistant for 13 points of fire damage.
Keen, did you use your advantage?
Did not, but I'm not raging right now.
I don't think that one's okay. I don't think that one's rage
15
only, but
succeeds.
oh, okay.
Doesn't matter.
Dude, though.
I'm sorry, I
But,
missed that. I thought it was a hit.
Alrighty. The two zombified warriors are not looking, or one's looking bloody, the other's looking slightly scorched. Blisk kind of rolls his. Actually, hold on. I gotta double check Blisk's character sheet. I don't think he has. He does have evasion. He dodges completely and totally. He just pushes up against the wall as the flames watch by. He says,
Ah, see, this is why I sit back here. See?
"Smart!" Points his finger towards his mohawk. But that's his turn. We come back to Arena.
Okay. Did I see roughly? Oh wait, never mind. He's not invisible anymore. So firebolt at that guy. Nope.
Even with him being restrained, that's a miss.
I meant this guy, but oh, he's
Even
restrained
with
because
him
the
being
web.
restrained, that's a miss.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
Actually, no, that's not a miss because it's advantage. That's a hit. Roll
Oh,
damage. Roll 15. I thought it was higher than that. He takes 11 points of damage.
Okay.
So he coughs out into the air by the attack.
Okay. And after that, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's my turn.
Okay then. The apprentice that is hiding over in the corner is going to move around to here to get a better view. And he, because he thinks this is a good idea, is going to firebolt the webbing surrounding the red wizard that is trapped. Burning it away and freeing him from the web.
Good idea.
Does it burn him?
It does burn him. I was going to get to that, but he is now freed. Though he does obviously not care for what is going on right now.
I yell, "Ha ha! Our plant is successful. We have you surrounded now, wizard."
He gives you a rude gesture. Whereas the guy in the middle who was actually, I'm going to switch out because he was invisible, so I changed his token so you guys wouldn't see he's invisible. He just kind of looks around, confused almost. Phil Dennis.
All right. I'm gonna hold a ball bearing out and cast catapult on it towards the wizard in the middle.
Okay.
I haven't used that spell in a while.
It didn't burn through all of it. It's burning through sections of it. DC 17, he actually rolled a 16, so he rolls just low enough as the ball bearing slams into him. He buckles over in pain, clearly bloody.
Okay, and then I stay there. I didn't think that would work.
Hold on. Why is the range in there 60 to 90? What's up with that?
The range is an item within 60 feet has a range of 90 feet.
Oh, okay, but it's a 90-foot range. Okay, I see now. Alrighty. That's Phil Dennis, as he looks very bloody, very, very bad. We move on to the Dread Warriors. This one's going to slide into range in the front of the doorway, and they're also going to try and do some damage. They're both going to hack at Garlo because one of them is being held onto by the other one. Swinging twice. Swing, swing, swing. Holy shit. So that is going to be a 20 to hit, a 20 to hit, a natural 20 to hit, and then a miss. And I have to make some saving throws. As the one that's holding onto you swings his battle axe into you, cleaving across your chest, dealing you 6 points of slashing damage, you see something happen as the axe seems to erupt, washing over him with radiant light, causing him to recoil. As the second swing does much the same, you see that radiant light wash over him again, but as it does so, you see that this time it seems to wash over him and knit his wounds back together. Almost like this strange back and forth. As the other one crits you for 17 points of slashing damage, all in all, you're going to take 27 points of damage from these attacks.
Who was getting healed slash?
The same guy that was attacking.
Yeah, it was the warrior, not Garlo, who was getting.
Yeah, no, he was attacking, and then he seemed to be taking damage from the attack, and then he seemed to be healed from the attack. This one here, as he crits you, you see as it bites back against him, and you see parts of him start to burn away as he seems to take damage from the attack as well. Looking even more bloody than he was before. But their turn ends, and we come back to Blisk, who looks up the hall and kind of yells out,
Get in the room! We can't get up! Stop hogging the hallway!
Balin. The eternal failing of using maps like this in D&D is that no fights ever take place in a room, they always take place in a hallway, because the players never want to actually move into the room.
Yeah, I didn't want to move in last time, because I saw the one swing at Garlo, and I knew the other one was going to swing at me if I moved in.
It's alright. Garlo's just starting to get a little bit hungry.
Uh-oh.
He's not that hungry yet, though.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute. I see the web burning away now.
Sections of it have been burned away.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get too far into this, so I'm just gonna firebolt the guy in the web.
Okay. I'm just gonna mark the sections of it that have been burned away. This section have been burned away, and this section has been burned away. They both failed, and they both decided to burn themselves. Well, he decided to burn themselves. That hits for
Okay, now
7.
Now dash back to my out of the way. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Alright, Garlo.
I'm gonna start hacking and slashing the creatures in front of me. So, the one that I'm holding on to.
That hits.
Okay, 11.
11. He is bloodied from that, but still alive. That hits too for 8 more. As you cleave twice into him with your battle axe, cutting past his chainmail and shield and driving down through his body.
1.
Your offhand is holding on to him. Because you're grappling him. You have to let him go to attack with your offhand.
Can I choose to do that at this point?
You can do that whenever you want, but you gotta remember, if you're holding on to somebody, that takes a hand.
Sense. I will let go of him and attack with my offhand. I can re-roll that if you want me to.
Nope, that's fine, as that will be enough to kill him.
Okay.
Alright. As one of the Dread Warriors falls... is that all for you, Garlo?
I can't move at this point. I will move
in. Oh no, that would opportunity of attack. So I will not move.
Okay. Blink shot.
Going to,
Actually, no, I will move. I'll go here. That's just around him.
gonna come here and here. And this guy is not dead. That's just the netting, correct? Or the webbing.
Yeah, that's the webbing.
I will Sacred Flame him.
Okay. The sacred flame slams into his chest, and he falls over dead.
Perfect. And I'll yell down to Blisk. It's all you now, buddy.
Make me a con save.
Assuming you mean me.
Yes. As that sacred energy washes over him, you feel that same wash of light wash back over you as you recover 2 hit points.
Ooh. I will yell out, dealing damage in this room might hurt you or it might heal you.
Something very strange about this room.
Arena.
Okay. So first, let's see what's going on. Can I see this guy at the top of the stairs, or is he too far up the stairs to see?
Not from the bottom of the stairs, you can't.
5, 10, 15. Can I see him from here?
From here, you can.
And I will do that.
That will not hit.
Okay. 20, 25, 30. Yeah.
Okay. The apprentice is going to push out a hand. He's going to cast Scorching Ray from way the hell over here. Using 2 on Garlo, 1 on Blinkshaw, just because, why not? Let's spread the fun around. The first on Garlo will hit. The second on Garlo will miss. The 1 on Blinkshaw will miss even worse than the 1 on Garlo, dealing 8 points of fire damage as the bolt of fiery energy slams up to your back. And he actually seems to regain health from the damage. And he also thinks maybe this is a bad idea, and he turns and he starts running off towards this door. Opening it, but that's as far as he gets. Wilderness.
Trying to get away.
Alright. He's way over there. Yep. Oh, I can't think of anything to do really. Kill this one in front of us, the turtle dude. Let's kill him. Unless... Nope, he's too far. Yep. Yeah, I was just gonna Ray of Frost the turtle guy in front of me. He looks like a turtle to me. Which will miss.
That one.
And that'd be the end of my turn.
Okay. This creature, which still has the barest hints of life inside of it, will swing at you, Garlo. And will miss twice, unable to find any purchase in those attacks this round. Alright, Blisk is going to look up and say, "Finally!" And he will charge up into the room, getting to here. He'll actually dash as a bonus just so he can get no, he doesn't need to. He can attack the guy. He doesn't need to dash. He'll just swing. He'll crit it. Jumping up,
Blisk.
cleaving his head off from behind, and screaming, "Yeah!" Which in Goblin Blinkshaw you translate as, "I am the best!"
I yell back, I know!
With him dead, he wants more people to kill, so he will dash into the room, but unfortunately he gets this far, looks around and says, he's gonna drop his sword to the side. "Where'd you go?" Disappointed. Balin.
Hearing that, I'll begin dashing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is 50. 5, 60. Yeah, that makes sense. We get to about the same place. Not a whole lot that goes that far for me. Firebolt it is.
And 18 will for 18 points of damage.
Wow.
Christ. As it slams into his side and bloodies him severely,
That's it.
clinging to the door for support. Garlo.
Oh, and I will yell, don't let him get through the door.
Okay. Garlo can move up to 40 feet. Each square is 10, right?
5.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 40. And
That
that's,
would be stepping into the web.
I'll just step this side then. Here, 65 feet. That's too far to even throw a javelin at disadvantage, right?
I think the long range on javelins is 90 feet. It would be a disadvantage.
It's my option. So I'm going to throw a javelin. So that's at disadvantage?
Yes.
3120s.
Unfortunately, a 13 will not hit. As you kind of sprint around, sidestepping the web, rearing up almost like an Olympic thrower and chucking it directly ahead across the room, and it slides and slams into the floor, snapping in half as the pieces unfortunately miss.
I'll
He will
screams
live
at him.
another few moments. Just because you have more than one attack, you could attack again.
Oh, that's true. I appreciate that, Leek. I do the same thing without the javelin.
That one will hit. That one, a little higher, using the last one to gain a basis, slams into the side near the upper portion of his chest, and you must hit something vital as he collapses to his knees in a pool of his own blood for a few seconds before completely collapsing over.
Got him. Penalty or healing that comes from that attack in this room?
Make a con save. Actually, you need to make that con save too, Balin.
Okay.
You recover 2 hit points. Balin, you take... How much was the damage? 18. You take 4 points of radiant damage.
Hey, okay.
Was it per attack? I did 2. Oh, but
You
the one
missed.
didn't hit. Okay. Yep, correct.
As we end initiative, as everyone in the room is dead, you see another one of these large stone glyph-like daises with another figure sitting in the middle of it.
Balin will dismiss the web if you want to get rid of it, Lake. I can't touch it.
Garlo says to Blinkshaw, "Did you see that throw?"
I'm trying to get a good look at what's trapped in the center.
Trapped in the center of this one appears to just be a humanoid. Though much the same as the last one, it is a humanoid wearing what looks like just tattered rags. His head kind of bowed over, not seemingly aware of anything even going on in the room.
I'll slowly approach and say, "Can you move?"
Doesn't seem to hear you at this point. He doesn't seem even nearly as responsive as the Yuan-Ti did in the last room.
Okay. And while I'm up close, are they similar to the runes in the slave pens that we could just break apart, or do these look different?
Make an Arcana check.
I can't make heads or tails of it.
Not sure.
Kind of shrugs and looks at Phil Dennis.
What?
Blisk pushes Vildenus forward.
Go look at the runes!
Alright. Are these similar to the older ones in the other room?
They do basically look the exact same from the
Yeah.
previous room, but these do not look like rooms you could just smudge and undo. They're literally carved into the stonework.
The exact same thing as the last room, and they're carved, so good luck trying to smudge them out.
What kind of features are on this one? Like this creature. Can't tell what it is.
He appears to be a human.
A human.
Is not responsive right now. Can I tell if he is alive?
Make a medicine check. Actually, yeah, no, you're not going to be disadvantaged just because you're not next to him. He looks like he's breathing, but it is an exaggerated affair. And comparing it to how you saw the statement in the last room, you realize that Yuan Ti looked just as bad as he did. It may just be that the Yuan Ti had far more fortitude than this individual did, as he is what looks like just fighting to stay alive.
Back up, I'm gonna try and pull him out.
Alright. You're surprised to find that the runes do not inhibit you at all, and grabbing onto him, nothing seems to be holding him to place. He is easy to pull free and pull down.
Alright. Pull him right. Is this out of the runes, or are they like...
Well, you can move him wherever.
Okay.
He is not fighting against you.
Does he seem to be regaining any strength after being outside them?
For a quarter of a second, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, okay.
He is conscious. His eyes are open, and he's got a little bit of drool just kind of slothering down the side of his mouth. But he just kind of stares blankly off into space, not really seemingly aware of where he is or what is even going on right now.
While they're working through that, Balin's gonna go check that open door and loot the bodies. Okay, I'll just close this door again.
I was gonna pick up the little goblin and shake him and say, "You did it! You killed him, you coward!"
Make an athletics check, as he is not gonna let you just pick him up.
Oh,
He
he
kicks
is.
you in the chest when you try and do so.
Oh, he's getting picked up.
Well, he rolled a 29 on his athletics, so you go to pick him up and he kicks you away from him. Blisk is really good at athletics, believe it or not.
Blisk is like,
Show him,
don't
Blisk.
eat me! Don't eat me!
You do not pick me up! That is not okay! You want to pick this up, you gotta pay for it.
Come here, you coward.
He
Let's
points his sword at you,
celebrate.
backing away.
No! You don't. No! Balin! Balin! It's gonna eat me! I'm gonna kill him! I'm gonna kill him!
And he rears his sword around.
I know you can use it. I've seen you use it.
It's so creepy.
I don't know if I found anything on this guy, but I'll shout to Blisk. Blisk, I found something for you, and I'll jangle like an electrum and a handful of copper on the ground, like, you know, for him, like, oh, there's some money here.
For a brief second, he starts to circle around the opposite way, keeping away from Garlo, before he just takes off in a full run over into the side of the room.
I let him go and say, "Go get your prize."
There was actually nothing on this body, but when he gets over, he says,
I swear, I am going to kill that stupid orc!
Now, there's been plenty of stupid people in this party before. You didn't kill any of them.
They didn't try to pick me up! They didn't try to eat people!
You have valid
just-
points, and I don't
just like
disagree
to-
with you.
Did Toshra ever meet Blisk?
no,
Yeah.
you would have met him, but that
Oh,
was
I-
before you all went to Barovia.
There was one time. Yep, I met him at one time before we went to Barovia. I'm sorry, I just thought of that.
And yeah, I closed this door if I was muted out for that, and then we'll slide back with Blisk in tow.
He stays behind you, keeping you
That's what I
between him
figured,
and Carlo.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of go to like here so I can be close enough to see what's going on. But yeah,
Alright. After a
Girls-
few moments, the figure you're holding in your hands, Blinksaw, just says, "Is this when you kill me?" They're kind of leering around, looking around the room. Oh. Okay, you don't look like you're wearing red. All right, who the hell are you?
I'm Blinkshaw of Helm,
And the frozen cloaks.
and the Frozen.
One of
Cloak.
those names actually means something to me. Just, what
I'm
the hell
gonna-
are you doing here?
Gonna guess it's Blinkshaw, right? We're here. Well, right now, we're here saving your life. Don't attack us, because the guy in the room before
didn't
this.
intend on it.
I'm
Not
glad.
in any position to do that either.
Well, glad to hear that. That thing over there, if it's anything like the last one, was draining your power.
I
you
could
know-
feel that, yes.
We mean you no harm, friend. We just want to know how you ended up here and why you think they brought you here.
Kind of takes a moment. I couldn't begin to tell you. I don't remember much other than waking up inside these halls and feeling like I have had a hangover that has been lasting for several months.
My guess is you were quite powerful before coming here. Is that true?
I was a acolyte to Elmata before coming here.
To
An
who?
acolyte to.
Elmata.
Do I recognize that name?
Make a religion check.
Will do. There's the button.
Ilmater is the god is known as the crying god. Ilmater is the god of suffering, martyrdom, and perseverance.
I like this
Hmm.
person already.
So do I like what's the alignment of that god?
Alignment's not really a thing in D&D.
Oh,
Like there's
okay.
no in character. You're not really
Okay.
there's not
But, like,
an alignment.
Is that a good god or an evil god?
Benevolent would be the term.
Okay.
They are the god of, they are the god of dealing with crisis in your life, essentially. They are the god of suffering dutifully.
Hmm.
This is the god where, your crops are stricken down, you pray to them, not so that they'll fix it, but so that you can manage to make your way through it and triumph in the end. Searching through the other body, you find several things. You find that there is a glyph key in here. You also find what is actually a far more mundane key, just an actual iron key. You find he is carrying some kind of long, short, wooden stick. Seems to be a wand of some kind, just at first glance. And he also has what appears to be writing embedded on actual flesh. And a cursory glance of his person, you realize it has been actually taken from his own flesh. Like someone peeled his flesh away and then writ on it.
I will not touch that. I will take
Cool.
it away onto the floor and let somebody else look at it.
I'll look at all
there's
this stuff.
Some
Yeah,
writing
Balin's interested in some of this.
Yeah.
Vildinus, if you're looking over the flesh, make an Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Enoch will say, "So, you're Blinkshaw. My name. Kieran. Kieran, that's my name. It's so long since I've had to use it, I feel. What in Ilmata's name has brought you to a godforsaken place?"
Well, a couple of things. One, the Red Wizards actually brought us here because I think there's a kind of a revolution going on within, a coup attempt.
I won't lie, that's not the best thing I wanted to hear, but I'll give you a chance to continue.
Sounds good. They want us to kill the Lich. The Lich, it's not Tarovar. That's who we've already.
Zastan. That's not what we're here to do.
Anyway, And then
I love the idea that you guys like literally have no idea what you're actually doing here, despite multiple people telling you what you're supposed to
they
do.
want us
Like I
to
feel like
get
I've
it right.
restated our mission statement so many times in character.
They want us to destroy some pottery. And really, the main reason we came here, though, at least the reason I came here, is because that guy, that goblin over there, somehow ended up here, similar to how you did. No idea how it happened, but we've been with him through thick and thin before, so we came to rescue him. And
Obviously, it's because I'm very important.
yes, definitely that.
He says as he points his sword to Garlo.
And don't you forget it!
Oh, important, little one.
And since then, we've found people being held, tortured, and we're trying to get through this to destroy the pottery and go home.
They're called
You're the
flectors.
first one that's not a snarling, evil aberration monster, so we're really glad we found you. Please don't turn into one of those.
He just shakes his head. I don't think I could walk out if I tried. Maybe. He says he stands kind of meekly on his legs. He can obviously hold himself up, but it's a challenge just to stay upright entirely. Very woozy. I just need to catch my breath off.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
Mean no danger to any of you, and I don't think I could manage even if I wanted to.
Do I believe him when he says that?
Make an insight check.
Yes.
Oh.
100%. Arcana. Wow, well, Dennis, you nail these Arcana checks. As you were looking over this, you see that it is not written in a language. It is inscribed with arcanic runes. And as you read through it, you come down with a sense of horror as you realize the Red Wizard who had this in their possession was under someone else's control. They were being forced to fight here against their will.
Yeah. That's not good.
You seem to be under a very powerful dominate person spell.
Is this like a quote scroll of flesh, or was it actually like flesh?
It's not a scroll. It is an instrument that was used in controlling this individual and forcing them to obey a charm effect.
Okay, but it's not attached to the guy though.
No, it was sheared off and kept on his person.
Oh, okay, okay. Ugh.
Which body was this?
The one I'm
This
standing
wizard.
next to.
Yeah, I'll tell her one.
And as that thought comes to your mind, I'm going to ask you, even though I don't think it'll go well, make an insight check.
I mean, I think I'll go better than Blinkshaw's. It probably won't, actually.
Say that. He has a +8.
Oh!
You got another natural 20! Phil Dennis is riding high tonight. As you think back to the fight, and just the way he was acting in the middle of it, you come to an even further realization that he was behaving in a way such as an individual who was being forced to do something against their will.
I kind of thought that a little bit. I was like, he didn't seem like he wanted to be there. And then, we killed him.
Do I see any identifying marks on his body that look different from the rest of the Red Wizards? Like,
There are marks on him, and you do notice he has several tattoos on his forehead and down the sides of his head and also his chin. As I do have a picture of him for you. Give me a second, I'll grab that.
Balen's
And
like,
you
"What
can
do you
make
get?"
an Arcana check if you'd like to
Sorry.
see if you can identify them.
I'm not great at Arcana, but I'll make one if Phil Dennis makes one too.
If I make one too.
Yeah. yeah.
Okay,
Come look at
sure.
this with me.
Oh,
Hey, there we go.
Oh, she almost beat you.
Wow.
Come on, I know there's a handout for this, but this is all mixed around. Give me a second. Enoch.
I like how
You're
they're
gonna
the
know his name
rolls
in a
they
second.
turn
Anyways.
off.
I just need to find him.
Mm-hmm.
Balen's like, does anyone have Raised Dead on hand? I mean,
He looked like this. And with the
Mhm.
Arcana check, you recognize the tattoo on his forehead as that of an enchanter. No, the other tattoos don't mean much, and there is no name on his person.
So I don't think there's any way I could differentiate someone else who's being controlled in this way just by looking at them.
Unfortunately not. It seems that whatever was being used to imbue him with this effect was just whoever had the personal decision to do it that way.
Okay.
And there's a wand too.
Yes, so
or
what I
a
just
stick.
said in chat, like once you reveal that to the group, like fuck the wand. Like, does anyone have raised dead prepared? We just killed someone who was innocent. Like, resurrect this person.
Has it been longer than a minute?
Not quite longer than a minute, no. Actually, with the thing with Garlo, with you all talking to Kieran, yeah, it's been longer than a minute. I was thinking, no, the fight just ended, but that's right, you did pull Kieran, you've been talking to Kieran, it has been longer than a minute at this point.
That's what I figured. I say we have 10 days. It's either it takes somebody within a minute or somebody within 10 days, and it takes me an hour to raise dead.
He is a red wizard still. Are you sure that you need to show him such consideration?
Exactly, he is a red wizard. A lot of people are here, maybe fighting in this portion against their will. But would you raise the dead of the wizard who sent us here? The one who attacked us at the tower?
If we knew he was being here, held against his will, and being puppeted to be killed, yes, he's a hostage in this case that meant us no harm. How is this different than, like, the thing in there meant us harm and attacked us when we tried to free it?
I'm sorry, I forget myself. Of course you are right. I'm afraid I've only seen him as the individual who has been keeping me here the past few weeks. I've been conscious. I forget my place and I forget my praise.
Now, I was talking to the other guy. You have definite trauma you can go back to, but that wasn't this guy. That was somebody else in this guy's head.
I understand your need, Liz. If you need to speak with him, perhaps there's a method you could do that. You seem to be of a divine influence nature, my good Sir Blinkshaw.
Tomorrow we can definitely do that. And tomorrow we could raise him from the dead as well. Again, like, I understand what you're saying, Balin. Right now, I'm worried about any of us getting out of here alive. Any of us.
For a cleric of protection, you make a lot of utilitarian decisions.
And I'm trying to weigh whether 5 or 6 lives. If me casting this now is worth the potential of 5 or 6 lives. Again, we have 10 days.
Carlos says, I don't know. He still looks like a red wizard to me.
Does that mean we're taking the body with us?
Carry him.
We can bring him back to where we started, because we need to go back there anyway. We also can bring back Kieran, because he doesn't have any way of getting back there himself. And
Not unless I plan on jumping and skipping out of here, and I don't know if that's going to work.
Hop might work, but not the jump.
I don't understand what you just said.
So we can bring Kieran and this individual back to the room that we started from.
Right.
When we entered that black gate. They'll be
Right.
safe there, right?
Yeah, I understand that. You said the hop, but not the jump. I didn't understand what that meant.
It was a shitty pun.
Whatever, man.
Balin, I get what you're saying. I do. But again, do you know what this person was like? Do you have another way to raise dead after we raise him? Because once we raise him, there's no one else that's going to be brought back.
I'm
Carlo
gonna-
points out that just because he was under a spell of control doesn't mean that he was good. He could have been crazy and evil and had to be controlled.
Or traitorous.
It's your call, Blake Shaw. I'm gonna have your back regardless. I'm just saying out loud that when you accidentally murder someone that didn't need to be murdered, my obligation in my head is that, like, you should probably bring them back to life, regardless if they were good or bad. But I got your back no matter what. It's your call. I just had to be heard. Ready when you are.
I had to bury a lot of people in the temple. And I came to grips with the fact that death is just as much a part of life as anything else. This individual attacked us with a fireball. We had no idea prior to this that he was under any kind of control. We also, he very well could be a good person. But again,
Carlos,
with 10 days, I would err on the side of caution before resurrecting him. I like the idea of talking to him as a dead person.
I have plenty of rebuttals, but I'm gonna save them because, like I said, you're fine. You said we're not gonna do it, then we're not gonna do it. Your call. I back it. I'm good. Let's just move on.
Identifying the wand reveals it to be a wand of binding.
What does it do?
Oh.
It should be on your screen to read it right now.
All I saw was a picture. I didn't see any text.
Scroll down.
Scroll down, it's there.
I did
Scroll down.
I thought I did.
Oh
Maybe
man.
Maybe I don't know. I thought
Yeah.
it did.
It's pretty
it has
cool.
7 charges, regains 1d6 plus
Oh.
1 a day.
cool.
While holding the wand, you can expend an action to expend charges from it to cast either Hold Monster or Hold Person. And while holding the wand, you can use a reaction to expend a single charge and gain advantage on a saving throw against being poisoned, paralyzed, or restrained. Or you can expend a charge on it to gain advantage on any check you make to escape a grapple. Ironically, he did not seem to show any desire to use that to escape the web himself. Again, seeming to feed into the fact that he almost seemed to prefer to be restrained. Maybe that would provide innocence, but you all just continue to butcher him one way or the other.
Did cast fireball on us.
No, that was the other one.
No, he
The
was
other-
the one that cast fireball.
Oh, he wasn't? Okay.
Turned himself
invisible.
invisible.
Yeah, he tried to hide, and then when you guys kept on doing shit, he's like, fine, I want to fireball you, fuck you.
Not reacting like he's dead. He has many days until he's actually dead. He's not dead yet.
I think I might be able to hold on to this. I don't know if anyone else can use it or can right now.
It can only be attuned by a spellcaster, so everyone but Garlo can use it. Unfortunately, Garlo does not fit the specifications of a spellcaster.
And that's why I mean.
What's next? Are you going to get me out of here? Do you want me to drag along and hope that I could do something to aid you? I think I would just be more of a burden than a help.
Do you know anything about where we are, what this place is? Really, what we need is information.
I don't even know how the hell I got here.
Anything you overheard being held there for weeks?
He just shakes his head back and forth. They don't tend to talk to me, and unfortunately this effect of draining has left me quite fuzzy.
That's understandable. I just want to get an idea of what else lies around here, because I don't know where the hell we're looking, but I feel like we're just going around in circles at this point.
Oh, holy shit! I just missed a whole section of this. God damn it! When you miss an entire section of the page. Oh shit. Continue on. This actually has nothing to do with what you're doing right now. You're fine.
So were you a cleric prior to arriving here? Or just an acolyte?
I just lived in a temple.
Which temple? In what city?
He gives you a temple in a city.
Okay.
This information is not given to me, and I can't think of one
Yeah,
off the top of my head.
Don't worry about making it up. I'm just trying to grill him to check out his story.
The information they give you is great until they don't give you all the information.
Yeah.
Let's make this shit up.
No.
I'll say he comes from Baldur's Gate. There's a temple of Ilmater there.
Sounds good.
I could rest and then move on.
Do you know where these doors lead? Which doors did they go into and out of?
He kind of looks around the room. They've traveled in and out of all the doors. I couldn't tell you. Most of them come from the door, and he gestures off towards this one. Come through that one, and they go through the other.
Sorry, I did not see a ping.
Oh, do you mean the door all the way over on the right?
Oh, on the left.
Oh, on the left.
Okay.
So there hasn't been any. Actually, let me make a roll for him to see if he's even aware enough to give you this information. Sure. No, I can't remember seeing anything alive going through the doors to the north.
Only undead come through these doors?
As far as I can remember.
That's
And I
good
don't
to-
remember anyone coming in from the doors from the other sides of the.
I think right now we bring these folks back so that they can be safe. And then come back here. Does that work for everyone?
Bring them back where?
To the gatehouse. Isn't that
Right.
where you're part of? Yeah.
Like, how do we know they'll be safe there?
That's
I
what
don't
the
know
wo-
where else to put them.
That's what the woman told us, right?
I don't believe she told us it was safe.
Once they know that we've infiltrated, will they look for any obvious signs of weakness in their defenses? Powerful wizard standing near the entrance.
Well, I mean, the whole way this thing is set up is like you can teleport to wherever the hell you want, so they'd have to have defenses at everywhere.
It sounds like they're probably going to be safest right next to us.
Well, perhaps we should get our friend in better shape.
I mean,
I
I'm
don't
good with going out if we can do that, but
I don't have any potions left. Otherwise, I'd give you one. I nod to, what's his name?
Kieran.
Kieran.
He doesn't look wounded. He just looks exhausted.
Exhausted. Do I know if a Song of Rest would help that?
No.
Like if I just flavored it, that would no.
Yeah, Phil Dennis, was there anything new on that card that you picked up?
There was the flesh thing, the wand. Was there a third item? I don't recall a third item.
There was a card.
Like,
Oh,
was
a key
a-
card.
In
and
a
what appeared to
regular
be an
box.
actual key.
Key.
Oh, an actual key.
As I realized that there was a section of this that I missed, and all of these doors are supposed to be locked. Oopsie. But that's
Oh, and I have the key now.
Balin, even trusting Balin, you guys could have made your way through here without much issue.
Right.
Does that key card have any new places on it?
That key card is the Temples of Anguish, so no.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
we
I'm
do
good
this-
with going back to the gatehouse and then returning here and continue to explore. I don't think we have much time, but
We don't have to go back through the Vessel prison or anything though, because we can just go from the one black gate to the gatehouse black gate. So we
that's
don't have
my
to go very far.
understanding. But again, I'm still not up on exactly how that works.
I think that's how it works, is that we can go from this black gate in the next room over to the black gate in the gatehouse, and then back here. So let's do that.
Sounds like a winning plan to me. Be happy to get out of here.
All right. I think Shell's just walking away.
Is everyone on mute? I don't hear anything.
No, you
Yeah.
guys are just being super quiet for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay.
I'm just,
coughing my lungs out.
I'm just moving there because I made the suggestion. I was waiting to see if anybody else said no. Let's not do that.
Oh.
So all of you make your way back over towards the Black Gate, which is exactly as you left it. Nothing has come in your brief time absent, so all you just have to do is choose where you're going to go.
I am going to bring the body with us as well.
Okay. Body with you as well. Placing the glyph key over the Black Gate, you can easily choose to teleport off towards the gatehouse instead of any other location as well, should you so desire. That is an option.
That is what I will do, and I will bring the body with me.
Alrighty. It opens up, and you all may pass through it.
Okay.
Arriving back in the gatehouse, it is exactly the same as you all left it the last time that you were here. The gatehouse itself is nondescript. The single context stone and the single glyph key in position.
I am going to go over the contact stone. And does anybody remember how to use these things?
No.
A voice from the context stone says, "Just touch them. What is it? I can see you. I'm busy. Tell me you have something worth our time."
Hello? Tap, 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 tap. Hello?
Blake, shall ask if this thing is on.
Is this on? On? Do you recognize this wizard here?
Which wizard? Bring him closer to the contact stone.
I'll bring him over.
It's like Weekend at Bernie's all of a sudden.
Dragging him over to the context stone, there's a brief pause before she says, "Yes, I think I do recognize him. I believe his name is Minik Zar."
How
Let
do
me
you know?
check to make sure that is his correct name. Hold on.
Okay.
It may
Yes,
be
that's
Minik
what
Zar,
the-
may be Minik Azar. 1 second.
Yeah, I'm pulling up.
Balin's like, yes, that's what the DM handout told us too.
Minik.
It
Sorry, his name
checks
is
out.
Minik Arts. Minik. His name is Minik Arts. I didn't know what happened to him. Where did you find him?
We opened a door. He went invisible and then fireballed us. After
That's
addressing that situation,
right.
yeah, after addressing that situation, we found out that he was being What did you say, Phil Dennis? Controlled? Dominated? What is it?
Dominated.
Dominated. He was being dominated. Here's his flesh. Do you know who would do this?
She just you actually can't see her, so you just hear her making some form of unpleasant response. I don't know. Could be many red wizards or even liches who might be fond of that sort of punishment. I do know who he is. Yes, he was the one who was responsible for the assault on the Bloodgate in the first place. He's the reason we have the gatehouse that we have.
Well, good job to this guy. We got him out of their clutches.
Captured during the assault. We weren't sure what had happened to him. I guess serving them in the end was the just punishment in their eyes.
Does that mean that he's given all of the information and they know of this place?
There is an audible pause on the other end when you mention that. Hold on. The assault. Pretty much. You said the assault on the Bloodgate, not the assault on the gate.
Yeah, I'm just ready. I wanted to be clear. He was responsible for leading the assault on the Sword Coast via the Bloodgate, right?
Well, keep in
That's what
mind
we were
there is
told.
more than one Bloodgate. There was a Bloodgate on the Sword Coast, but presumably there's also one in Thay that they used to transport.
Fair. When she said the Bloodgate, I thought, and his
So,
punishment.
and she will explain. No, I don't think he would have had knowledge of us having taken this over. It was during the assault on the Bloodgate in Thay that provided us the opportunity to take this over and begin our assault in the Doom Vault.
Okay.
I see. Not the gatehouse.
No.
Gotcha. So,
Most of their defenses were focused, considering the importance of the Bloodgate. It was the best opportunity to launch a two-pronged attack. That we managed to succeed both was incredible. Didn't hurt that the Waterdavian armies were using that opportunity to attack from the other side, so they were very, very, very split thin.
do you know if this kind of spell lasts past death and perhaps into resurrection? Much of this magic.
She seems to consider it on the other side. I would say, Phil Dennis, you would know. So long as the flesh is intact, it would be active. But it would also be a simple thing to just destroy it.
Right.
Because you rolled a natural 20 on your check to discover and look at it.
Booyah.
Okay. You can fill me in when I ask that question then. I will.
Correct.
I'll then say, tell you what. He seems like he's important to your cause. Can you? I'm sure you have clerics who can resurrect him. Yes.
The only way that we have to bring him back would be far more messy.
Can you get me a diamond? Is he worth 500 gold to you?
Again, there is a pause on the other side.
It sounds like someone leading an army on an attack that was so vital. That's no price to pay.
He helped us, I'll admit to that. And it wouldn't be that big a price to pay. But it's not as if I can just drop by the gatehouse any old time and hand it over.
I see. When is an old time that you can drop by?
You do realize that I'm also in the middle of running an insurrection here, correct?
No.
And that you are in a location that is hidden away, that the only reason we've managed to maintain control about it is because no one even seems to remember that it's even there. If someone decides to walk out into the mountains to the east of Thay, anyone even notices, this little secure location may go up on smoke in moments.
Do you have a way of your buddy in Phandalin? You must have Red Wizard contacts in Neverwinter as well. Can you get messages to them?
messages are easy enough to send. If you're asking us to teleport more supplies in, that's kind of a very expensive use of magic right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's all we can do to keep our own agents going where they need to be.
What if we teleport out and you supply us with the materials, the diamond and the chalk to teleport back in? And I can get your buddy back on the front lines for you without the messiness.
Oh, you adventurers are so much trouble. Paying you for the owl, and you want even more support, but they're trying to help us. I don't know when I could get any information like that out. We don't exactly have agents in Neverwinter. We operate in Thay. And considering the recent attack from the Bloodgate by the Waterdhavian forces, well, let's just say the Red Wizards aren't really welcome in that neck of the woods. It was everything we could do to get Haman Cost over there to hire you all. Just keep his body secure. Leave it in the gatehouse if you must. We'll deal with that as we can. The first opportunity. It might take a week or two, but eventually we'll find the time to get someone out there and handle it.
Tell you what, why don't I front you the money, and you just give us an extra $750 at the end instead of $500 now?
Make a persuasion check.
Inspiring move.
Yay!
So inspiring.
It was such a good reasoning too.
Wow.
Assuming that all of this goes exactly the way we want it to, I'll be happy to provide a diamond. Just gotta get my hands on it. We'll cover the cost at the very least, but we don't exactly have the money to go throwing around for bonus incentive.
Alright, I'll do at cost. You don't have to find the diamond. I can walk into the city and get it myself. But the diamond and what is it filled in as 30 gold and chalk?
I think it's 50.
50 gold and chalk?
Something like that. Just remember off the top of my head.
I give the correct value in chalk because I assume she knows. So the just add on.
Actually, I imagine Blake Shaw gives the wrong value a few times, and then she just says, "It's this much. It's this much." Just, I understand.
All right. Deal.
Yes.
We'll if we bring him back to life here, can he make his way out, or no?
He might be stuck there for a while. They might realize he's gone, and the safest place for him would be where somebody can't find him. After all, if he escapes, he's going to have to leave Thay, and then they're going to have to track him down. The gatehouse might be the safest place.
Perfect.
Plus, if you have any more questions, you might be able to pump him for information. He may have learned more inside the Doom Vault than I can provide you out here. In fact, you might want to speak with him regardless. His dead body might reveal some information.
His dead body might reveal some information?
If you can bring him back from the dead, I'm assuming you know how to speak with it.
Well, sure, but why do both?
One significantly cheaper than the other.
True.
Oh god damn it, Chris. 2 NPCs have told us to do this. Just do it. Stop being so stingy about your spell slots.
I just don't have this prepared is why.
Oh, okay.
I can bring him back from the dead right now. I cannot talk to him right now.
Okay.
Sounds good. By the way, do you know a Mr. Tarlvar?
Tarlvar. I think he was a lich that was responsible for leading the assault on the Bloodgate in Waterdeep from the Red Wizard side.
Yeah, we met him. He's not that powerful. Good knowing you.
Lich. Don't overestimate him.
Do you mean underestimate?
She doesn't say anything.
Have a great day. Bye.
Even NPCs can fuck up sometimes.
Oh, I know.
Oh man.
All right. I will turn to the group and say, well, I got us a free ride back home, or a paid for ride back home in the future. What do you think, Kieran? I know you said it was Baldur's Gate, but the feeling Neverwinter is
Anything
better
that's
than this.
anything that's not the Doomvault sounds absolutely fantastic to me.
Okay.
Balin kind of looks
So-
at him. Oh, so now you know you're in the Doom Vault. So I don't know where I am a minute ago. All right.
Did I say that?
You may have to hang here until we get back, but you're safer here than in there. And I turn to Blink Shaw and Mike, and we may have to raise this thing and talk to it sooner rather than later, because no one's really forthcoming with information down there, and we have a fuckload more searching to do, and we don't know how to find this place. Savvy?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Opposed.
I know, but apparently dwarves are cheap with spell slots too, so I'm trying to convince Blinkshell to do it.
Oh, to raise him now.
Yeah, because
Here's my.
she said he has information about in there, so
Oh
we
yeah,
need.
yeah. Here would be my suggestion. Let's go back to Neverwinter with Kieran. Get another set of chalk and a raised dead
And some potions.
and some
If you
potion,
can.
whatever we need to restock of it. We'll come back today. Raise him
Today.
today, and then we can chat. That sound good?
Except I can only do it once today.
Oh. Alrighty then. Shall we raise him now?
What a great idea! I'm glad you had it.
I am so glad that the voice inside my head and outside of it told me that.
Would you give me 1 minute, though? I turn to Kieran. So you do know this is the Doom Vault?
I'm not attempting to deceive you.
Insight check.
An insight check. Not necessarily sketchy, but it does come off like he's withholding information.
If you know something that can help us, it would be in your best interest to tell us.
As I said, I'm not keeping information from you. I just know that there are very bad things that have crept around in there. And I'm not the only one that's imprisoned in those halls. In my line of faith, we tend to realize the less you heal people, the better suited they are to fight against it. Knowing that you're up against a dragon, you secure yourself against a dragon. Tell someone they're up against 5 dragons, they may well give up and go home. I do it for your benefit, and I promise I am not trying to deceive you.
So you're saying that what's in there is so scary that that hearing it would make us give up?
It is, as far as I could tell, a place of aberrations and inhumane evil. A place where they delight in creating creatures that make the waking world tremble in fear. And if I could make a single guess, anyone who is trying to gather chosen, as you did mention you had encountered another one, such as myself, any goal that is attempting to harvest that is something that cannot be ignored, and it would shake the very realms with its conclusion.
I look around at the party. There's something much bigger going on here than liches and phylacteries.
And as you say that, he just kind of looks over at the dead body.
Are you saying mind control?
I'm saying what I've been saying since the start. If you want to actually know, I would ask the person who was in a position to hear, to learn, to know, who's actually been on the inside and is in a position to speak to you about it. Unfortunately, you killed him, but there are ways to deal with that.
Alright. Blinshaw.
Before you do that, let's destroy that item first if we have not done it so already.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
Any form of magical damage would kill it. Wilderness, not a magical
Hi-ya!
effect, but any magical weapon could easily sever it and destroy it.
I
Ending
will
the
give
spell.
it to Garlo.
Or a casting of a spell such as Dispel Magic would also do the job.
I give
Don't
it to Garlo.
don't eat
and
it,
say,
Garlo.
Garlo does hold it up with like pinched between two fingers and kind of sniffs it a little. Ugh.
Kind of looks like a plant, doesn't it?
Nope.
This is a strange book.
Just
And
cut it with your axe.
he
Use
cuts
the-
it with his axe. He says, "Well, there you go. Raise it from the dead, but by the way, I'll probably be needing it next. Here." That shows the two gashes in his chest and the one in his back.
Ooh, I have spells left, although all I can do is a healing word.
I'm also running out of a lot of other things too, like
Yeah.
rage.
Considering you wouldn't get your spell slots back without a significant rest. Garlo, which would heal Garlo anyway. I think that would be a waste.
Okay.
I mean, it might be we just stay here too long and give them more time to prep, but
Hey,
I
Garlo.
don't know.
Hey, Garlo. Are you feeling less than half as good as you do when you're feeling great?
Yes, much.
All right, then.
But I am not afraid of dying.
Helm, I put my hand on you and I say, "Don't worry. Helm will make you feel better." Oh, it's like a hangover cure. That's not an IV though. Only half as good.
Only half is good.
Give yourself up.
You
to
really
half.
shoehorn that one right in there.
Oh, that was horrible.
Up to half. It's like 2 points.
Yeah. So whatever you need to get up to half, and that's for pretty much everybody. There's no way we're using 45 hit points.
Yeah, I need 1 hit point to get up to half.
There you go. Garlo, whatever you need. As long as it's not more than 44.
It's 47. Damn it! No.
Is the flesh destroyed?
Yes. As he cleaves it in two, there is wisps of gray smoke that burn from it, almost like it's threatens to catch on fire before the edges cinder and burn back, and the writing on it fades entirely.
I look around. All y'all ready?
1, 2, 3, blink shot.
And I sit down and start casting for an hour.
Yep.
I will take a seat in the corner and start plucking it at the lute because I don't have my lyre with me. I will just gently play a tune.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, wait, no. You're the liar.
No, the liar is back at Trasendar Manor.
Oh, okay, okay.
I've got the loot with me now.
Das Loot.
And the spell that you're casting is
It is going to be Raise Dead.
Raising the Dead. Alrighty. For the next hour, as you all are completely undisturbed, sitting here inside the gatehouse, I'm assuming you, of course, you have a single diamond worth 500 GP.
I do, and I have taken it off my sheet now. If you are looking for that,
All
I
right.
have changed it.
No, I
to
was.
0.
I was asking.
Yep.
All right. So as you all spend the next hour waiting, as Blinkshaw mutters through the incantations to Helm to bring the deceased back to life, placing the diamond on his chest, the pieces of it shattering and dancing across him like pieces of golden light that sometimes sink beneath the skin, other times bounce to and fro as if searching for another entrance. Time ticks by, and as the hour slowly comes to a full stop, a breath sucks into deceased lungs, the wounds not quite healing over, but closing up to the degree that there is no serious damage seemingly done to the man whom you all murdered before you realize what a mistake you were making. His eyes slowly open, the yellow pupils staring about as he sits up. Staring, he realizes at the people whom just got done killing him not over an hour ago. And he says, I take it that we have to talk about something.
Well, that, and we realized you were being, what was it, Fildinus? Controlled?
Dominated.
So, though the proper term would be brainwashed.
Brainwashed. Sure. You were being brainwashed.
Yes.
Unfortunately for you, that happened after death. And as this one over here pointed out, it would be uncouth of us to leave it at that.
Look, we might be a bastard. We're not a fucking bastard. That's kind of where we're going with this. Like, we didn't know why we killed you for the wrong reason, and that's not.
He looks down at his body and his hands, kind of feeling his face. It seems that I've been brought back as the living and not the dead. So, I believe thanks are in order. No fault has been caused here. Can't hold it against you since you've gone through such a means to ensure that life is still mine.
You're welcome, and I will say, I do have to give credit to your friends. They are going to be bankrolling it. So,
That is
thank your
very
friends.
surprised.
We had a good chat.
Anyway, I think we need your help.
Yes. Hell.
Well, you know a lot more about what's going on down there than we do.
He kind of grumbles. A lot is asked. A lot. I do have some useful information. After all, I was trapped inside the temples of extraction, working closely with the Chosen.
May I take it from here?
Go for it.
Hello, I'm Morena, and I kind of introduce myself.
Minik Ares.
I would say it's a pleasure to meet you if it weren't such a horrible place to be. But I digress. We were sent here or brought here to assist in destroying the phylacteries, or rather, a specific phylactery. But we have discovered that it seems something bigger appears to be going on.
Yes, I would say that.
What are they trying to do in the temples of extraction? What are they feeding that power to?
Well, the first thing I can tell you is the obvious. Temples of extraction are not actually temples. They're laboratories. Sealed off from the rest of the complex. The only way to get in is through the black gates using the proper glyph keys. We're not just going to stroll into that zone. As
Alright.
for where the Chosen One's energies are going, even I can't tell you that. But I do know that they have as many as they can, and it's been part of the personal goal of Zas Tam.
Do you think he's taking the power for himself or creating something else?
Knowing him? Yes. Well, it would only be speculation. I wasn't allowed to know the more intricate reasons. If you're trying to steal the power of the divine, I can think of only one reason to do that.
He wants to become divine.
He wouldn't be the first Lich to try and become a god.
Will destroying his phylactery destroy him, even when he has this power?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. Though no one even knows where his phylactery is.
Is it not with the rest of them?
No. I don't know what phylacteries are in the phylactery vault, but even I know that Zaz Tom would not trust it there. He is the ruler of the entire nation. His is hidden away someplace special. Only he knows its location.
I see.
Where is the vault?
I'm afraid that one I can't tell you.
Can't or won't?
Can't. I don't have the information myself. The temples of extraction are where I spent most of my time, and as I said, they're not connected to the rest of the complex. One must teleport there. My guess is that you must teleport to the phylactery vault in the same way, but I don't know of anyone who would have a glyph key that would allow that. And as far as you can tell, he's being honest.
Okay.
How many other chosen are there?
He kind of goes wide-eyed like he's counting. In my temples of anguish, there are 3. But I also know there are several other sections of the temples, and each of them have even more chosen. I've never went beyond those temple area. Sorry, my own temple area.
In the Temples of Anguish, there are 3 total? Or 3 more?
In the temples of anguish, there are 3 rooms.
3 total. Okay.
And then there are other areas in the temples of extraction. I don't know the total number.
How many of these people are good people that were, as opposed to an evil person like the Yuan-Ti?
The Yuan-Ti was the chosen of Zahir. The primordial deity of the Yuan-Ti worships things such as... I'm not on that page. Give me a second.
Such as eating us, apparently.
The Serpentine god of poison, darkness, and murder. And he's not one to give up on vengeance either. The type of sort that you slight him and he would be more likely to carve out your heart than to forgive you. Kieran there was a chosen of Ilmater. I'm assuming he's filled you in on all of that. The last one was the Temple of Pain. I believe a chosen of Leviathan. Which, sure, I can hear the religion check coming, so go ahead. But he will explain as you're making it, see if you know it. Is the Maiden of Pain, the goddess of hurt and agony, the patron of torturers.
Oof. Does
Not
sound
the
like-
nicest sort you can imagine.
No. Do the effects in each room have to do with who is being held in it? Or
The
are they
effects
some-
of each room, from what I've been able to gather from the pedestals, that drain the energy from the chosen.
Right.
Is there any way to counteract them?
Shut off the dais.
Will that free the chosen?
It should.
How do you shut off the dais?
That's complicated magics. Force the personnel. Hold on, let me read this because I had this here. Fundamental efforts could do it. Drawing out runes, disrupting the magical energy, just outright smashing the damn thing might do the part.
Alright.
The fact that you all managed to do it already, I suppose they weren't in an active defense state, but I imagine after today, they may be a little more cautious.
Yeah, I just pulled Kieran out. Nothing stopped me.
Yeah. So what I think he's saying is if we don't get it, we better get it back in there and take that third one out ASAP before they have time to defend it, because they're going to figure out we just fucked that place up in a little bit.
So, there were 4 doors, if I remember correctly, leading out from the room you were in.
One led back to the Temple of Poison, where the Black Gate was. 2 led off into the next section of the temple. The one to the south and the east to different rooms. The 2 to the north led to the same room. That would be the Temple of Pain.
Let's see. And the south and the east, where do they go?
He shakes his head. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Is it just a portal, or are there...
Those are beyond white gates. I was not allowed past.
Who was allowed past?
Anyone with the proper keys.
Well,
But I never saw them, as there are black gates in each of the temples, I have to assume. The only ones who ever came to the temples of anguish were the ones who came through the anguish gate.
how did people like Kieran get... How are they brought here, and how are they put here? It seems like he has no memory of it.
Your guess is as good as mine. I wasn't responsible for that. I was just responsible for overseeing the chosen as they were being drained. I have to assume they were kidnapped, perhaps brainwashed. There are wizards who are capable of casting modified memory magic like that. If I had to take a guess, though, such magics are beyond what I am capable of.
I will look to others to see who has other questions.
Are there more mind-controlled people like yourself in there?
I don't know that. I was placed there as punishment. Leading the assault on the Bloodgate was, well, about the best thing I've ever managed to do with my life up until this point, I imagine. And when I failed and was captured, someone kind of tilts his head to the side like he too can't remember, decided it'd be a good idea to use that as punishment. Fight for the side you were working so hard to overthrow and all that. It's kind of cruelness only a lich could know.
Are there any weaknesses that you can think of? That...
Well, my other question was the Temple of Pain. What are its natural defenses?
Temple of Pain. Leviathar's goddess pain and torturing misery. What was it again? The effect there channels itself into retaliation. Pain is something to be experienced dutifully. You go in there and you should expect any pain you suffer to be 2-fold, 3-fold, so on and so forth.
Do you know how many, at least at the time of us walking in, how many defenders were there in that room?
That room was mostly patrolled by undead. They don't have to come and go as they see fit. I would say there must be at least 5 in there. Of varying types, I can't remember specifically. Though I do believe there are shadow hands that are kept inside that room at all times.
Do I know what a shadow hand is?
Make a Arcana check.
I'm probably not the one. Hey, I
Oh
am
my
the
gosh.
one.
It's actually very fitting that you do this, because as he describes them, they remind you of the creatures you encountered in Barovia, the ones that sprung off the women.
Oh, yeah, I know what those are.
Very fitting for Blinkshaw to know exactly what those are.
Those bastards almost
Don't
killed
worry, we brought a hag's pin.
me.
Oh,
No, that
terrible.
spawns them. Oh boy. Okay. Um.
Undead are immune to the pain's effect. That's why they're stationed in the room. You all be wise to be careful going in there.
That's good to know. If we stayed just outside the room.
I think you might be fine, but you might get pinned down in the hallway.
Yeah, clearly we know about that one. You use that against us very well.
I am sorry for that. I didn't have much choice.
Nope. I completely understand and appreciate your understanding of why we killed you.
Why is it exactly that you all came here?
Oh, that's a funny story. So,
Well,
go ahead, Ren.
we were hired to find the phylactery chamber and destroy phylacteries.
Plus, we missed our goblin buddy.
You
These are-
didn't come to rescue your friends. Or were they not captured already?
One of them was. That was the primary reason for coming.
Wait,
Right away.
friends plural. Who else is getting captured?
Well, as he says that, he kind of looks through. He's like, I've been looking at Chosen so long, I've been starting to see the traces. He points over at Balin. You're one. He points over at Garlo. You're another. And he points at Blisk. And he's one too.
I look at Bliss with
not
wide
Blinkshaw.
eyes.
What in the hell are these people talking about?
And that's what we're going to in this week.
Oh my
Ah.
gosh. Bliss?
Blisk.
Of course Blisk is!
Yeah, are you kidding me? He's basically he's probably chosen himself. He's the top
Yes.
I just love the idea. By the way, as he was doing that, Blisk was just as dumbfounded. When he pointed at Balin, Blisk pointed at Balin. When he pointed at Garlo, he pointed at Garlo. When he pointed at himself, he just pointed between his eyes. He's like, wait, what?
Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Awesome.
I kind of got that vibe with as soon as the second room had a chosen in it, I'm looking at like Keen's character, and Blisk was a surprise. I'm like, ah, god damn it.
It does certainly seem to explain why the hell Blisk would have ended up there, the same as Garlo.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.